Yes, we are. Yes, we are. All right. Good morning to all of my lovely friends who are joining Z Live. Guys, as we get in, can we tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me's? Oh, hold on. Oh, I did it. Yeah. Can we knock out the pink heart puffs? It's the daily gift card. Thank you for the cake. Hey, Kuma. Is that Bartholomew? Is it Bartholomew Kuma? Guys, look at my face. Look at this. I scratch myself waking up like a freaking baby. You know how babies wake up and they have like all those scratches and stuff on them randomly? I scratch myself on the face because like my nails are long. Oh, thank you for kissing and making it better. All right, guys, send your daily heart me, knock out the daily gift goal, do all the wonderful things. We're going to get started here in just a second. There we go. And then let's just pin that. Boom. All right. Send your daily heart me's. I'm going to reset, or we got the little pink heart puffs. What did I think of the SpongeBob movie? If I'm going to keep it a bean, which I try to do that with you guys, it wasn't that great. SpongeBob movie wasn't that great. And we didn't finish it because it wasn't like the first one. Not even close. I didn't find it entertaining. Not in the smidget. If I'm going to keep it a bean, and I try to be honest with you guys, SpongeBob movie wasn't that good. It was sad. All right, guys, if you are a Trump supporter, of course, get in the box. But if you disagree with anything on the background, get in the box, because this is the wave, right? This is the 2028 Democratic platform. This is what we're running on. This is what we will be fighting for. We need everyone in line and fighting for this in 2028. We need to demand that whoever's going to be our representation for 2028 falls in line with each and every one of these things. We have to do it. No ifs, ands, nor buts about it. And also, what we have to do is make sure that we're not tiptoeing around it. We have to do this and say it with our chest. Period. Anyway, tap the screen, share live. Let's get the likes up to 10,000 likes. If you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. Let's go.
You stepped in the box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate.
This is a mind game.
Facts type lies get left in chain. One wrong word
Get slapped out your name.
This ain't TikTok.
Nope.
This a war zone talk.
Yep.
No script, no filter, no safe walk.
What?
Stats will get scrambled
Like a glitch.
I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey, can't believe I scratched myself like that.
Truth hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script.
One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield.
Better know your stuff
Before you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana.
I don't care what you claim or your background. Facts only, if not, get clapped down. Whether you're left or right,
Or you don't even vote.
If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat.
Hey, you like that? I saw someone said no cap, no shield. You get it.
That's force. I'm the test, the trap, the trip, the call.
Hey,
Once, I'm snatching it all.
Lego.
Step in if you dare. You dare. Get hard
Like a punch in the air.
in the air.
Ain't no
rules, no plan, no script. Yeah.
one wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield.
Better know your stuff
Before you get revealed.
Step in.
Step in, don't you wanna?
You wanna.
Sparring with Santana.
Step in if you dare. You dare. Get hard
Like a punch in the
air.
Ain't no
rules, no plan, no script. Yeah.
one wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield.
Better know your stuff
Before you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna?
You wanna. Sparring with Santana. Yeah.
This ain't your safe space, MAGA.
This is flame
Step
space.
in.
Don't you wanna
Sparring with Santana. Guys, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana. One-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, and I am here to take you to your cruising altitude of 30,000 feet in the air. Guys, hang on, because it's going to be a bumpy ride, but I will try to stabilize the live as best as possible. We are looking for some debates. If you're someone that supports Donald Timothy Trump, get in the box. But if you are someone that disagrees with anything on the background, get in the box, because the fact of the matter is the Democratic Party needs to get their shit together. And when I say their shit, I mean, fuck it. Let's lean into all the things. And all the things, first and foremost, lock them up. RNC, no games. And I'm not talking about frivolous attempts to pursue people that may have done something unnecessary, unfounded, no wiggle room to say, oh, it's a witch hunt or anything. No. They're doing illegal shit. They're covering up murders. They're harming people. Let's get them all. And I'm not just talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about all of them. I'm talking about Stephen Miller. I'm talking about Stephen Bannon. I'm talking about Elon Musk. Get each and every single one of them, hold them all accountable, period. But that's not it. Universal health care is an absolute must. Oh, sorry. Thought I updated this. Universal health care is an absolute must. That's not something that is a negotiable. That's not something that we can actually talk about or whatever the case may be. Like, universal health care is mandatory when it comes to what we deserve as American citizens, period. Codify Roe versus Wade. I'm tired of playing games. I'm tired of playing games. And if we're not going to codify Roe versus Wade, we are definitely going to make mandatory vasectomies a law. Fuck that. Either we regulate everyone or we regulate no one, but we don't do half-ass shit. Free college, period. Hard stop, public option, need free college. The age of anti-intellectual that we live in today, where people think that you don't need education, you don't need higher learning, you don't need expansive thought or critical thinking, I'm over it. We are where we are today because people will not lean into education, and we need free college. Last but not least, non-white reparations. Yes, non-white reparations. If you are someone, the United States of America has multiple sins. The original sin, stealing Turtle Island from the indigenous people. They need to be made whole. And I don't mean just like tax breaks and $1,000 stipend or anything like that. We need to actually do the things, give them reparations. Black people deserve reparations because we built this country for free. And also all the people that are currently being harmed by this Trump administration, being caught up in these ICE sweeps, being caught up in this unconstitutional action of this current wannabe dictator. We need reparations for all non-white people. So, with that being said, if you're a Trump supporter or if you disagree with any of the points on the background, get in the box. FYI, MAGA. I don't know if you know this, but the motto for 2026 is you crash out, you lose, period, full stop. You crash out, you lose. I'm not dealing with crash outs. I refuse. We're adults, act as adults, have a conversation as an adult. Also, you don't get to yip yap in my chat. You do not. So if you are someone that is a Trump supporter, hell, if you're someone that disagrees with something on the background, but you are refusing to get in the box and you're over here on the TikToks, guess what? You will be muted. We're not playing those games. That being said, exhaust. Oh, dang it. I forgot to bring up my, hold on. Let me do this. Boom. I left my main account in the request for too long.
Hello, how's it going?
Okay. Philip, are you a troll or are you non-American?
No, I'm American.
Okay, where are you from?
Minneapolis. If you want the time, it's 11:22.
Oh, I don't give a shit about the time in Minneapolis. What's their NBA team?
I think it's the Timberwolf.
Who's the best player?
I don't know. I don't watch.
Who's the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings?
I don't watch sports, Dad.
Okay. No, thank you. One thing that I don't suffer fools, right? I have no interest in suffering fools, and I also don't enjoy trolls. So either drop the accent or you're not here in the US. Either way, not gonna do it. Yes, it is JJ McCarthy. It is JJ McCarthy. I don't play those games. With that being said, if you're a Trump supporter or if you disagree with something on the background, get in the box. We are only looking for some debates. He said Indianapolis. Oh shit, I thought he said Minneapolis. I thought he said Minneapolis, not Indianapolis. What did he did say Minneapolis, not Indianapolis. Am I tripping? Chad, am I tripping? He said, yeah. Hurricane, are you a Trump supporter or someone that disagrees with something on the background?
Definitely not a Trump supporter. I mostly agree with everything that honestly the bottom prompt. I agree.
Crash out, you lose.
The one the non-white reparations. I believe that clearly, Black people were done dirty in this country. And
okay, hold that thought 1 second. I just want to make sure that we were you had an actual point that you disagree with. Let's do this really quick. Hurricane, do you know who I am?
No.
Ooh, awesome. Hurricane, would you mind if I give you a quick introduction to who I am and what this is?
Sure.
Perfect. 1 second.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or someone that disagrees with something on the background. If you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We are only looking for some debates, guys. Please do not request up if you do not disagree with the background. We are only looking for some debates. With that being said, if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree, get in the box. Get in the box. If you agree, though, tap the screen, share the live. Let's get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Also, I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1-cent gift goals. If we can knock those out a couple of times, it'll push us out to the FYP. Last but not least, send your daily heart me. It's only 1 coin. It'll boost the live as well. With that being said, Hurricane, you have a little bit of hesitancy when it comes to what the 2028 Democratic platform must be, not should be, must. And you said that something about the, reparations. You were saying Black people, go.
Yeah, I just don't know what that would look like realistically. Like, I think also, then you're going to have to define like non-white, but then also sort of like, where is this money coming from and how much and like why? And I agree with you that, especially Black people have been, I don't know what's the best word I'm looking for. Like, they've been screwed by our country, basically, historically.
Hey, Rick, thank you for the dinosaur.
But I just don't know realistically what this would look like. Like, if you have suggestions, I'm open to hearing that or just discussing that. But
yeah. So I guess the first point to get across when I say non-white people, I mean people that are not from the Caucasus Mountains, right? We're not talking about white people, phenotypically speaking, the people who have had power, proximity to the patriarchal system in multiple ways, or who aren't affected overwhelmingly by systemic racism or things along those lines. But the bigger point being is it's not about Black people. I care about Black people. Black people are I am Black people, but there are groups of people that have been wronged by the United States of America and the history of the United States of America. And that's why I don't leave indigenous people out. The United States of America has never corrected the first sin, which was unaliving indigenous people to the point of cooling the temperature of the earth. And so they need to be taken care of as well, and Black people for sure, and anyone that has been overwhelmingly harmed in these ice raids, with brown people as well. It's so many different people. And the point that I'm getting across is also reparations isn't about money. Money, yes. Yes. What is this? Yeah, okay. It's not about reparations. I'm sorry, it's not about money, right? Money is a factor, but we also need to lean into the fact that we need to provide additional and free education to higher levels. If we want to talk about reparation, we need to talk about tax incentives. We need to talk about land, multiple factors when it comes to people who need to be made whole by the actions of the country that we live in. And when it comes to paying these things and affording these things, the best way that I could possibly put it is we could either eat the rich or we can reallocate current funds, right? I mean, Donald Trump allegedly is proposing an increase to the military budget up to 1.5 trillion. And so if we have money to continue to feed into the military industrial complex, then we definitely have money for reparations.
I basically agree with everything you just said. It's just, I think it's just kind of like, I think no question we're spending too much on military. So sure, we can reallocate funds. I guess I'm not sure still exactly like what it looks like. Like what is the best way to help, certain groups that have been disadvantaged by our country. And
again, so the point that I'm trying to get across, and I want to be very clear, not only to you, one second, Hurricane. Hey, Ryan, Dwayne, the reason why Ryan is yip-yapping in the chat and not up on the panel is because I refuse to panel Ryan West. Ryan West can get out of my request. No one's running from him, but you are a POS. And so I refuse to actually speak to you. Anyone else I'll talk to, I don't care who it is, but you fall in the line of a bunch of other harmful people, so I refuse. You can leave. Good day, sir. I'm sorry, I apologize. But yeah, the point that I'm trying to get across, right, is not that I have all the answers, because I don't, right? I'm not the one that's sitting here saying like, oh, I know for sure this is how we should do it and blah, 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 blah. The point that I am trying to get across, though, is this should be a non-starter. This should be something that is not only a core fundamental principle of whoever is running for office, but it's something that we should get done, right? Because there's been multiple conversations around reparations and commissioning studies and blah, 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 blah. And so while I don't have the specifics as far as like how everything is laid out, I do know for a fact that we have smarter people than me that can actually get it done. And that's the point. We just need to get it done.
Yeah, I basically agree with that. I think, unfortunately, there are a lot of racists in this country. And I think something, I mean, the thing to care about, though, is I think if you run on this policy, it can, and while it's unfortunate, I worry running on this policy is kind of like, it kind of gives all the loud racists a reason to sort of be more racist. And that's,
the racists are racist, period. Like, they're loud and racist, period. Hey, Hurricane, how many times do you think I get called the N-word on this app a day?
Oh God, a lot. It sounds like
a lot. A lot, but racism is much more than words, especially for Black people. Racism is deeper than that. We live in a racist society. We are impacted by racism, even when, going to the hospital, when going to school. Like it's not just something that we can just, avoid or, keep the races quiet. And so while I can't speak for every person, I feel pretty confident in my stance as far as where Black people are on January 10th, 2026, this day and year of our Lord. Fuck racists. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care about them being loud. We don't care about them. They're literally out in the streets marching, and they're openly calling themselves Nazis. Like, I don't know what anyone wants us to do with that or care about their feelings. The point that I'm trying to get across the reason why I have these things on the background and the reason why I'm really bold about these things is because I'm tired of Democrats being scared of leaning into the things that can actually make them special and reach out to people who would actually care about things. Like, we have to reach those people. There's over 10 million people that didn't vote, who are registered to vote outside of the people that made the decision to sit out. There's normally about 10 million people that just don't vote. And we need to reach out to those people and give them a reason to vote. And these things would help give them a reason to vote.
Yeah, that might be true. I agree. I think, I realize you probably want someone more debating you.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I mean, the point of this is to yes, I do want people on the right to come up as well, but I want people on the left to get up here who have any type of pushback on these things, because I think this is the point where we need to be talking about this and we need to be aligned, because the thing that I think that we have to do is dictate to whoever the 2028 candidate is. We can't let the 2028 candidate dictate to us. We have to dictate to them. And so we have to have these conversations amongst ourselves first, and then we have to draw a firm line in the sand. So no matter who is our representation for 2028, they know what we want directly. And so I think this is important.
Yeah, I agreed.
All right. Well, listen, Hurricane, I'll drop you down. You can keep listening. We'll cover this more. And you know what? If we can work together and come up with a plan or idea, then we'll figure it out together.
Sounds good. Have a good one. Peace.
Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. Please do not request up if you are not a Trump supporter or you do not disagree with something on the background. If you disagree, go ahead and get up here. Tap the screen, share the live. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 75,000 likes. Also, if you would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and Linktree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Dun. How are you?
I'm all right, man. My favorite grifter is back online.
Absolutely. Listen, Dun. First and foremost, Happy New Year. You and I haven't spoken since last year.
Yep.
I want to make sure
for them liberal white women.
Sure. I want to make sure that I'm very clear on my 2026 resolutions. I love to have you up here because I'm interested in your position being the counterpoint, but I do have a firm line in the sand and I've really been sticking to that a lot, and it's right here, right? Crash out, you lose, meaning we will have like back and forth conversations. I won't talk over you. You won't talk over me, intentionally, but I'm not going to do the crash outs in 2026. So like we can have a real conversation and we can go from there. But if not, then I'm just going to move on. So I just want to make sure I put that firm line in the sand.
Okay. All right. I had to respond to one of your viewers. She said, liberal Mexican. I'd tell her Mexico wasn't a real country, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. Done. So this is the 2028 DNC agenda. This is what we are going to win back the country on in 2028. We're literally going to reshape the country, take it back from the Republican Party who's running it into the ground, and do everything possible to improve the life for everyone, including people like yourself that may not want a better life. Dun, what do you think about it?
What do you mean by, okay, I see something that I'm interested in. I may agree with it, but what do you mean by non-white reparations?
Oh, yeah, reparations for people that are not white. More so specifically indigenous people that were the original sin of the United States of America, for Black people who built the country. I'm sorry?
I understand Black people, but why do they deserve, they lost their land fair and square. And they're given
Question for you,
benefits, they're
Dun.
given casinos and all that
question
type
for
of
you,
stuff.
Dun. When it comes to indigenous people,
You mean the nomads?
Hey, let's keep it in the guardrail.
They were nomads.
Let's keep it in the guardrails. I'm not gonna play around. With indigenous people, how were they mainly unalived when it came to, how were they mainly killed by the colonizers that came?
You're gonna say disease?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't matter. What does that matter?
Yeah. So colonizers,
that means you don't deserve to be here.
Colonizers came to this country and not only actually killed indigenous people to the tune of so many people that it cooled the temperature of the earth, with these people who were looking to openly accept people and openly help them. Like literally they were on the brink of dying while they were here, and the actual indigenous people saved their lives, nursed them back to health, and were taken advantage of. And so with that being said,
that's their fault.
Okay, so Dun.
Can we start at the disease part?
Listen to this for a second. This is your get out of jail free card, right? So how about we pick something that you actually disagree with, because you said you kind of agree with the reparations. So if you kind of agree with
maybe just for black people, not for all these other groups.
I don't care about that. What's something that you think is a failing point on the background for the left that you're willing to push back on completely?
I kind of still want to stay with the natives point.
I'm telling you no.
Okay, well, we got to go to the next one. Let's see. Why do you want to lock up the RNC?
Cool.
I mean, some of them do deserve it, but why?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I want to actually do is lock up all of the people who are engaging in harmful activities to everyday Americans, right? There are people that are people that are literally stealing money from the United States government. There are people that are actually defaming, defrauding, multiple people that have actively been harmful to the, I'm still speaking, actively harmful to the United States of America. And the point that I don't want people to get bogged down on is, I'm not just talking about Donald Trump. While yes, Donald Trump has absolutely defamed the United States and engaged in like war crimes and things like that.
Such as?
But I'm just gonna put you on mute while I finish my sentence. I promise if you stop interrupting, I can get through it, and then you can know where I stand with everything, and then you have specific questions outside of that, then you can throw them out then. Donald Trump has absolutely engaged in war crimes and is trying to seek immunity in multiple ways, but he has enriched himself, but he is not the only one that's actively harming the country. So I do think that we need to hold everyone accountable, and we need to go after them with legal means. We're not going to drum up any charges just because, lock them up or whatever, but we need to make sure that everyone is held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. Prior with the Biden administration, the one thing that they failed with was with Mayor Garlick. They drew up their feet. They didn't want to break precedents. And I'm saying that not only does Donald Trump need to be held accountable, people like Stephen Miller, Stephen Bannon, and also Elon Musk need to be held accountable for the things that they have done that overwhelmingly harm Americans and our country. Now, Dun, the floor is yours.
See, this is my issue. You say a whole bunch of stuff, but there's nothing specific. Mm-hmm. You said Donald Trump did some war crimes. Okay. War crimes according to what? According to the ICC. That's what the ICC is? The International Criminal Code or something like that? International Criminal Court, yes. And Trump, where is that court at? It's an international body. Why? So because other people think we do something wrong, they're going to tell us to lock up our leader? No, we need to tell us to lock up our leaders. Who is we? You don't have enough people, but you don't have those people on your side. I understand TikTok. Okay. I understand TikTok. Mm-hmm. This is the thing with like your ideas are so grandiose, but they're not practical. I hear you. Okay. Why should the international community, a community we've been feeding, right? Mm-hmm. Right. Community, a lot of these international bodies were started after like World War II. Most of it is Europeans and, other people that really don't matter in the world, such as Europe. But like, why should we listen to them?
Okay. Well, it's because we live in a society, right? The silo thinking that the United States can move with impunity is not true. We work with our allies and work internationally, and Donald Trump obviously understands this. And not only does he understand this, but he fears this because he and his surrogates have been petitioning the ICC to change their constitution. So when they are out of power, they can't be held accountable for their war crimes, including the double tap that was actually committed with the Venezuelan boats. Like, this has literally been reported on. This is not something that we're speculating on. The Trump administration is actively trying to get them to change their constitution so they cannot be held accountable, because Donald Trump understands that he has presidential immunity within the United States, but he does not have presidential immunity outside of the United States.
Okay. I just don't think that at the end of the day, I think that you're believing too much in these fake things called rules. Okay. All that matters is force. Okay. The Venezuela got their stuff taken the same reason that the indigenous people got it. You only have what you can protect.
Done. Stop. Don't bring up indigenous people again, because like at this point, you're trying to be inflammatory towards that, and that's already been a hard line for me. I'll let you continue, but don't do it again. Thank you so much for the mystic. I appreciate you, Aiden.
Yeah, send another one. You only have what you can protect, okay? If you can't protect something, it's the fact that, see, a lot of people say that they dislike white supremacy, but it's so ingrained in them that you can't get rid of it. So when somebody tells me, you can't do this because it's my land, you only have what you can, or you can't do that to me because I'm supposed to be treated equal. The only reason you believe that is because some old white slave masters got together in a room like 200 years ago and wrote that down on a piece of paper. But that piece of paper has really nothing to do with reality. The reality is this: if you cannot protect or defend your stuff, it's going to get taken from you.
Got it. So a question for you, Dun. Are you a homeowner?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a family man? Do you have a wife, kids, anything like that?
No.
Okay. Do you want that one day in the future?
No.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
What trying to be like that lady in Minnesota.
Okay. What about like businesses? Are you a business owner, or do you aspire to be a business owner?
No.
Okay. What do you aspire for in not economically, but like your professional life? What's your aspirations?
Getting more money.
Okay. How so? So to be a worker bee, or what?
Maybe investing things. Yeah.
Okay. Investments, property or crypto or real.
Maybe all of that. Maybe a pretty diverse portfolio. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So done. Question for you. With you being a property owner, and I'm just going to make the assumption that you're a homeowner. With you being a homeowner and you looking to invest in stocks and crypto and real estate and all this other stuff, what if the United States government at any point makes the decision to take all of these things from you?
Then they can
saying that it's justified for them to take all of your things because you can't defend it?
Yep.
Okay. So your only premise is might makes right.
Yeah, it's reality.
Okay. So with the premise of might makes right, how are we still governed? How do you govern yourself in a society with laws and rules? Because obviously you don't go around and just take the things that you want, right? I mean, you have to purchase your home, you have to purchase your vehicles, you have to purchase your food. You don't just take. So how do you function within a society that doesn't actually align with your current mental state?
Yeah, you function as society because there's two things. There's force and there's the threat of force. The same reason Venezuela has not done anything to us. They got people over here in America. There's Venezuelans in every neighborhood now.
Mhm.
The fact that they let us do that and didn't do anything because they're afraid of us. So
Okay.
there's actual force and the threat of force.
You're expanding that out. I'm not talking about what's happening on an international scale, like
Yeah,
the
but I'm
threat
giving
of
an
force
example.
on the international scale, right? But that example doesn't apply to the question that I asked directly, right? Because you don't have the capabilities of the United States military. So you specifically, Dun, right? How do you function within society where your mindset is might makes right, and you think that, you know, if you have the ability to force yourself on something, then you can have that something? How do you function in society where you are constantly not just taking what you want, right? What's stopping Dun from walking to his
I don't have an
local
army.
Porsche dealership and just grabbing a car and leaving?
First off, I don't have an army with me.
Okay.
But these things happen every day in our society. Every day in our society, people get pew-pewed, women get raped, things get taken. It happens
Yes.
every day.
And what
So
happens,
the law
what happens
doesn't
within
stop
our
that.
society? No, the law doesn't stop it, right?
Yeah.
But again, what happens in our society when people break the law and they shoot other people, or, you know, rape women or whatever? What happens? Is it freedom of consequences?
No, it's overwhelming force.
Okay. So the point that I'm getting to is that the reason why we in a society don't just take or do the things that we want, or just lean into the first thoughts that we have, is because we have a society of laws, and the laws have consequences. And so, Dun, the bigger thing that I'm trying to get across is that while you may justify might making right, we are a nation of laws that is governed by laws, and our society is held in check and balance by the, yes, threat of repercussions of breaking the law, but even more so understanding and having an agreement that we live together and we have to work together in certain ways. So the point that I'm trying to get across is a grand scheme, right? When it comes to the RNC and the people that are actively harming the country, the way that we ensure that these people are held accountable by our society's standards and measures is by ensuring that our laws are enforced, and we appoint people that are going to fight for our laws with the same type of ferocity that we believe in it. That's the point. That's why we can hold them accountable, because we can put the people in place that will hold them accountable instead of the people that will allow them to slide.
But you're still talking about using force.
Mhm.
You're still talking about using might.
Yeah,
because if you're saying that you want to lock somebody up,
Mhm.
you're forcibly containing them.
Yes. Yes.
So
but
so
again,
then you're
it's-
proving my point about Mike's mace. Yeah, you are.
No.
Because you're talking about you want to lock people up,
Mhm.
right? So locking them up, that's physical.
Yeah. So
Okay,
again,
so then you prove my point.
Sure. The point that I am getting across is not about just locking them up for unfounded reasons. I'm not saying just go after everyone just for shits and giggles or shiggles, as I always say. The point that I'm getting across is going after people that have we can prove that have broken the law. And if we can prove that they have broken the law, we should not give people a pass for actually breaking the law. That's the entire point.
Well, you asked me a question earlier. Why don't I take what I want, right? And my question to you is this. If these RNC people have done something wrong, why don't you do what you want to them?
What do you mean?
It's the same thing.
What do you mean?
You asked me a question earlier about if might makes right, and why don't I go and take a Porsche or whatever? Why don't you Democrats, if the RNC did something wrong, why don't you just go put them in a cell right now?
Right. That's what I'm advocating for, to hold them accountable for any illegal crimes or any harm that was caused.
Why don't you hold? But they've already done the crimes.
Yeah, but
then why don't you go do it now?
Hold the power.
Okay,
again,
and what is power? Okay,
so
what is
wait
power?
1 second, Dun. I need to make sure that you understand the premise of this. The premise of this is not saying that we have to do these things right now and da 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 da. Well, while I agree that there are certain measures that I would even go so far as saying like, yeah, I can co-sign that. I'm not going to say it because we're on a TikTok live, but the point being is that within reason, within understanding, within building the left and trending towards a better society, the thing that we need to ensure that we do is hold those people that overwhelmingly harm the United States of America and American people accountable. I'll give you a great example. The two things I think the country failed in multiple ways, right? The first thing is with the Civil War and the fact that they did not treat those traitors as traitors and punish them as traitors to the country should have been punished at that time. So that was a massive failure to not hold the Confederacy accountable to that level. The second thing is the January 6ers, right? The actual people that tried to overthrow the United States government and usurp democracy not held accountable. And they should have not only been held accountable to the way that they should have, but they should still be locked up today, including Donald Trump. Every single one of them should have actually been held accountable, but they were not.
Well, then go do it.
My point being is once the Democratic Party has power, they need to ensure their constituents that if you hand us power, we will do these things, and we will do these things within the limits of the law, but we will not give anyone a pass. That's the point.
Yeah, the point is this, right? So why don't you don't do it now, because you talk a lot and it's just fluff. You don't do it now because you don't have the force behind you. You're no different from we are, from what we do. You're no different. When you get the force, you're telling me about going after people. Okay? The same way that Trump said he want the force to go after people. I respect it. That's politics. That's what politics is.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the point though. Yeah, I think you're missing. That's literally my point. Donald Trump did the exact same thing, but he stood on the premise of making things up because he felt like he was wrong. I'm not saying make things up. That's why
you're just bowing to international courts.
No, I'm not even talking about international courts. I'm telling you that we need to hold everyone accountable within the limits of our law. But the point that I'm making is Donald Trump literally said that he was going to go after his enemies, but he made the decision to actually make things up. I'm saying we don't even need to make things up. Let's just actually hold them accountable for the shit they did.
But you went after your enemies. You went after a bunch of people that walked in a public building on January 6th. You went after the people that you don't like. Okay. So what's the thing is Donald Trump is not doing anything wrong.
Sure. So your premise is the people that participated in the January 6th riots just walked into a building.
Yeah, they walked into a public building. Some of them,
into a public building.
Yeah, they walked into a public building.
Sure, absolutely. Some of them walked in. What did the other ones who didn't walk in do? What about the ones that broke down barricades and smashed windows and climbed through windows? The ones that didn't just walk in, the ones that actually ran over cops and beat cops and stunned them in the neck with tasers like DJ Rodriguez. What about the ones that smeared shit on the wall within the Capitol building or hung the Confederate flag? What about the ones that brought an actual gallows while chanting, hang Mike Pence, the VP? What about those people that
isn't a riot a language
harmful?
Of the unheard? A riot is a language of the unheard. Remember that line?
No, where's that line?
Oh, you don't remember that line? Oh, okay. You don't remember a riot is a language of the unheard? We just the thing is this, we were just trying to take your
where's that line from?
That's from Martin Luther King. The thing is this, right? We were just trying to take your flow, right? The only thing is we were smarter than you. Your people went to the Nike store. Yeah, your people, when they rioted, they went to the Nike store. Okay. They went to the Nike store to take Nikes and the Apple store to take iPhones. I see another group of people that went to the seat of power. I mean, but we're just trying to be like you a little bit. We learned our lessons from you.
Yeah, I hear you. I think the premise that you're trying to get across that the left, or I don't know if you're trying to say black people or whatever, is where
I'm talking about the left.
Doesn't even matter. Okay,
white people that was out there too.
Yeah, so the left, as far as going after businesses and things like that, I'm gonna keep a being with you, right? And I've said this to people who try to have a false equivalency between what happened in Minnesota with the BLM protest versus January 6th. The false equivalency is with the BLM protests. We watch a man get murdered on national television with George Floyd, with someone standing on a cop kneeling on the back of his neck for 9 minutes. And we watched this man lose his life, and people were viscerally upset, viscerally angry, and fighting back because there was no actual repercussions that our society held this person to. Now, the difference between that and what happened on January 6th is there's a bunch of petulant children throwing a temper tantrum because their daddy told them that they stole something from him. He lied. They literally tried to overthrow the United States government because of a lie. And we know it's a lie because the Trump administration, who held power at that time, took the actual case to multiple courts over 60 times, and each and every court said, nope, you have no premise. Nope, you have no justification. Nope, you have no evidence of anything actually happening as far as stealing the election. And even more so, Dominion, the actual voting machines that were connected in this actual election, ended up being able to sue Fox, not Fox News, but Fox Entertainment, for misinformation and disinformation to the highest lawsuit settlement in United States history because of the fact that there was no proof. So the biggest thing that I am trying to get across is, while you say, oh, you guys went to the Nike store and Apple and we rearranged it and went to, take power or whatever, blah, blah, blah. One, you failed, right? Because the transfer of power still happened. But two, you guys threw a temper tantrum over a lie, while the left is visibly upset of watching people die on TV. You guys aren't like us.
Okay. So the thing is you said it, a false equivalency, right? I love how you use that word. Didn't in Seattle, didn't they go into a Capitol building there?
I'm not sure when.
They did.
Are you sure Seattle? And
they did. Yeah,
it
was Seattle.
Yeah.
I think. No, I think it was like City Hall or something like that. So the thing is this, right?
When?
During the whole George Floyd. I mean, remember, you only have 1 day of rioting. Y'all got like 5 months of it.
When,
so that's
though?
another.
Seattle,
that's another false.
Going to the City Hall.
Yeah, City Hall. So the thing is this: we want to talk about who went.
Is this in 2020?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second, because I want to find this.
Yeah. So the thing is this, right?
No. So you want 1 second? Don't go too far, because I know you're gonna make other points, and I'm gonna let you do that. But let's see here. On June 20th, protesters, June the 9th, 2020, 700 to 1,000 protesters came from Cal Anderson Park on Capitol Hill to City Hall, occupied the building for about an hour. Yeah, so this was a peaceful protest, and it also included city council members and city council members that led the group and used their keys to open the door to allow the protesters to enter the building. And yeah, once the protesters were inside, they were mic'd up and they chanted their different demands as far as the resignation of the then mayor, defunding the city police by 50%, banning police use of chemical weapons and chokeholds, and releasing arrested protesters without charges. The outcome, the protests remained peaceful. There were no arrests made in City Hall that night as police determined there were no laws that had been broken. The crowd dispersed around 10 p.m. and many returning to Capitol Hill organized protest Chop Zone. So the actual
look up Nashville.
Sure, hold on 1 second.
Nashville City Hall. There was a room set on fire.
Sure, 1 second. Sorry, let's see here. All right, yeah, I gotta hit a quick reset. Listen, guys, we got to do a quick reset just to make sure we're good. I don't know what you said, but it hit you with a flag. So give me 2 seconds. Can you come right back and we'll get right back into it?
Who, me?
Yeah, it said.
Oh, you running away?
No, I said I have to do a reset. Can you?
I'm going to get, and I'm just gonna eat one piece for y'all. I'm not even gonna bother to I like that fryer. Yeah, me too. And listen, you did turn off the air fryer. I mean,
Yes.
okay, y'all, listen. I'm gonna dip it. I made up this little sauce. Girl, you're my man.
Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats to get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey.
Step in if you dare. Truth hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know yourself or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. I don't care what you claim or your background. Facts only, if not, get clapped down. Whether you're left or right or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat.
Hey.
You talk slick, but you ain't got source. Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force. I'm the test, the trap, the trip, the call.
Hey.
You slip once, I'm snatching it all.
Lego.
Step in if you dare. You dare. Get hard like a punch in the air. In the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. Yeah. One wrong move, get cooked real quick.
No,
cap,
no.
Shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed.
Yeah.
Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Step in, yeah, you care. Get hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Yeah. This ain't a safe place.
It is not.
This is flame space. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana.
Boom, 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 boom. Good morning. Guys, welcome back. Apparently, we have a couple of people that are super sensitive in the live. And since we have people that are super
That's crazy.
the live, we have to ensure that we are protecting the live. So if you don't mind, please tap the screen, share the live, do all the wonderful things. Can we knock out the daily gift goal? I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1-cent gift goals that'll help boost the live and push us out to the FYP. And also, we will send your daily heart meet, right? And last but not least, guys, even if you don't like something that someone is saying, please remember there is no need to actually do the reporting thing. It's weird. Especially if you think that you're someone who aligns with what we're saying. And if you disagree with the guests, that's fine. Allow me to have these conversations and be able to continue with the conversation as a whole. I appreciate each and every one of you. Oh, thank you for the crown. But please allow me to control the live from here. We have amazing mods to help support the live as well. So we don't need any vigilante justice.
Yeah.
Done. Just to kind of go back to where we were, because we were talking about the differences as far as the what happened.
It was my turn to respond.
Sure, but I'm trying to actually set it back up and recap where we were. So we were talking about the differences as far as what occurred when it came to January 6th versus the BLM protests. And you brought up the protests that occurred in Seattle. You said that there was a city hall that was taken over. We looked it up. And with City Hall, apparently it was led by City Hall council members. It was an hour and it remained peaceful with no types of arrests or anything like that. So yeah, the premise that you gave as far as even that example does not apply to what happened when it came to January the 6th.
Yeah, it does apply. So first off, there were several government buildings that were damaged, right? In terms of the courthouse, or excuse me, the state building in Nashville was set on fire. The Mark O. Hatfield U.S. District Courthouse was also vandalized in Portland. The Ohio State House in Columbus, Ohio, was also damaged during BLM.
Okay.
The Pioneer Courthouse was damaged. The Gus Solomon Courthouse was damaged. The Edith Green, like the idea that it was only one group of people that damaged a specific building for
Sure.
during that is ridiculous.
Sure.
So
I guess the big question I have for you then, Dun Dun, is what does this have to do? What's currently happening within the United States government and the amount of people that are exploiting the United States government in multiple ways? Like, what is the protest that occurred in 2020 have to do with the harm that's being perpetuated in 2026?
Well, you originally said from your original point, one of the bases of you, quote unquote, locking people up from the RNC was you're saying what Donald Trump did during January 6th by pardoning the people was one of the laws, I guess, that he violated, right?
No. I said that
you did say that.
No, I said that was one of the failures of the country, meaning that the actual country should have held them accountable to a further extent than what they were held accountable to. They shouldn't have been able to be pardoned. That's the point that I was getting across. Not that, you know,
do you know who Tamika Mallory is? Are you familiar with like Tamika
Mallory?
Okay, so in Kentucky in 2020, Tamika Mallory and a group of other protesters actually committed felonies by stalking a U.S. senator and doing a sit-in outside of his house, and all those charges were dropped.
Can you give me information about that? Anything that actually verifies what you're saying?
Yeah. Hold on a second. Yeah. So in
no, I don't want you to go over. I want you to give me like something specifically I can pull up that'll verify that she was stalking. And
yeah, just go look up.
No. I want you to go look that up and tell me exactly.
Like I'm giving you the information right now. You're not letting me talk.
No. I don't want you to say go Google search this and look for this. I want you to say, hey, this is the actual case docket number. You can look this up. This is name. Blah blah blah.
They dropped the charges for them.
Okay, that's fine.
It was a felony, and they dropped. There's mug shots of them.
Sure, that's fine.
Tamika Mallory has a mugshot along with Corday the rapper.
An actual article talking
Trey
about
the Truth. They were all. What do you mean an article?
Yeah,
I told you to go look it up.
Yeah, sure. You go look it up. I'm gonna thank a couple of people. Go look it up and give me something specific to actually verify that.
Funny is now you don't want to verify it.
No, I'm saying I'll verify it. I want you to go tell me specifically what to verify. I'm not gonna go just Google search things. Stay on mute for me. I'm gonna thank a couple of people while you get that information. W's in the chat for Denise. Holy fuck, W's in the chat for Denise for the $50 donation saying Santana, the GOP is beyond repair. Full stop. Dems need a spine transplant. The progressive socialist revolution is the path forward. Reparations included. Other developed nations have many successful social service blueprints to work from. I 100% agree. 100% agree. And we're at the point where this is not an option. This is a mandate. This is something that we can't actually just, say that, oh, we should or we shouldn't. No, this is it. We have to do it. W's in the chat for Denise. Holy fuck for the $50 donation. W's in the chat for MAGA Cries for the $2 donation saying Dun Dun thinks let a woman finish is also fake. Yeah, we know. W's in the chat for Diana for the $5 donation saying small contribution for today. Wrangle these maggots. Absolutely, you can't paste it in the chat, but just hold on for 2 seconds. W's in the chat for Deanna. Thank you so much for that $5 donation. You are absolutely amazing. W's in the chat for Rhonda for the $5 donation saying, so if I go to his house and take over because he can't protect it, I get to keep it. That's basically what he's saying.
He's a woman and you can't do that. You're gonna get smoked like that.
Stop. I'm reading off thank yous. This requires no response to you at this moment.
Go ahead.
Please stay on mute. Please stay on mute. Dun. I'm muting you. Stay on mute. Stop it. W's in the chat for Jay for the $2 donation saying, shut up, mediocre white men. You're everything that's
white.
Okay, I'm gonna drop you down and I'm gonna finish these thank yous. And then once I finish, you can come back up. But again, I'm not gonna play these impulse control games. Like if you can't stay on mute, then I'll just move you off of the screen. It's weird that as an adult, you can't exercise impulse control. We're all grown. You have to be over the age of 18 in order to join a TikTok live. And I'm not going to play those games. Seriously. W's in the chat for Jay for the $2 donation saying, shut up, mediocre white man. Everything about you're everything about the world that hates the United States, more specifically, you're everything the world hates about white U.S. American men. It's a good thing that you don't want kids because no one wants to breed with you. Thank you for showing us why. Yeah, Jay, unfortunately, he is not white. He is just mediocre. Yeah. W's in chat for Gray for the $3 donation saying Dun Dun is clearly an oath keeper. He is definitely upholding white supremacy talking points. W's in chat for Mike for the $2 donation saying please ask the caller. Then what is the meaning of what was the meaning of the BLM protests? Were they peaceful? Yeah. Like, I don't understand how we get around that. W's in the chat for Junior for the $1 donation saying, why do they always go to BLM, that racist asshole? Arsehole. Yeah, like the BLM thing is just their justification. This is how they get past and they try to square the circle when it comes to what happened on January the 6th. W's in the chat for Kat, who sent a $10 donation saying, geez, he needs a good F and a hot cup of tea. He needs something. W's in the chat for a follow-up $5 donation saying, at best, he'll get a cup of tea. I roll. We know that. W's in the chat for Priscilla for a $1 donation saying, we stole shoes. We didn't try to steal more. Yeah, we didn't try to steal more, moron. Yes, like they tried to steal power. W's in the chat for Peach. Hey, Peach, I was gonna get you up here earlier. If you're still here, request back up. Peach sent a $5 donation saying you got to read Black Pill. It's literally this guy. I heard you talking about it on your live the other day, Peach, and I was super interested in it. So absolutely. W's in the chat for Dragon for the $2 donation saying he's the reason the male loneliness epidemic. Absolutely. W's in the chat for Mike for the $2 donation saying if we all have TDS and all these weirdos have TGS, Trump God syndrome. I completely agree. W's in the chat for all the donors, guys. I have a bunch of super chats as well. I'll read those out in a minute. I promise you I'll get to the super chats, but I want to get back into the debate. The W's in the chat for all the donors. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and Linktree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted, anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. If you are a Trump supporter or disagrees with anything on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, keep doing the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live. Make sure you hit that follow button. All right, done. Back to you.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, seriously, like, let's have an actual conversation without interrupting each other. I don't want to do the weird stuff. Please and thank you. Okay.
You've had me change the subject twice. Okay, so the thing is, you've had me change the subject twice. First, we were talking about the people that you don't want to talk about, right? Then we were talking about Venezuela. Then we're talking about international courts, right? The idea is this: you can't do anything about what's happening right now. To go back to my main point, I also tried to put the link of Breonna Taylor and the rest of her little nappy-headed gang sitting down at the AG's house.
Hey, done.
What?
Fucking stop it. Like, seriously.
Have you seen her hair?
Done. This is it. No more warnings. No more bullshit. I don't know if you're doing this on purpose and you're trying to be inflammatory because you think that, like, this is a show or whatever the case may be, but, like, have some respect and some decorum. Like, I'm dead ass serious at this point. Like, one more thing, and I'm just going to move off of you. And there's no point of actually engaging in the conversation with you if you can't actually act like a fucking human being. Like, seriously, I'm not playing games.
Okay? I'm trying to go back to the original point. You keep reading off the super chats. My original point is this: you want to do the same things that we're doing. You just can't do it because you lost. Okay, you pardoned all your people, the people that was out there rioting and stuff like that. They all got, they didn't even bring charges against them and all of that. You had power. You lost power. It's our turn. Okay, that's what it is.
Okay, what premise am I pushing back on? Because, like, your whole thoughts is like, I didn't say anything about, oh, they did this and da 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 da. No, my premise
something about
is
January 6th.
Yes, because I said that the problem was
they won.
The people. I said the problem was the people that engaged in January 6th, just like the people that engaged with the Civil War from the Confederacy. Neither one of those groups were properly punished. That was the point. And
according to who?
According to me.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
Okay, I can respect that you saying it's you.
Yeah.
Okay, and you have the right to have your
That's
opinion.
absolutely my opinion. Absolutely.
Okay, so but that's you.
Yeah.
What I'm telling you is that the idea that you're going to lock up the RNC is it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You fumbled it so many times. You've tried it so many times. You're just not effective at what you do.
Can you tell me one time? And again, so when I say the RNC, just FYI, I don't mean like every single person. It's hyperbolic. It's just a bullet point because I can't, properly articulate it on the background. But the point that I'm getting across is that anyone on the right that has engaged in these illegal and harmful activities, then we need to hold them accountable. The ones on the left too, but specifically the right is the one that have power. Can you give me one person who has specifically ran, one presidential candidate or one senator who is specifically ran on the premise as far as like holding the Republican Party accountable and making sure that they receive jail time for any crimes that they've committed?
You're saying from a political standpoint or from a prosecutor? Like who are you? I mean, I don't know. I don't know every politician out there.
Yeah, no.
I don't know
none.
but weren't impeachment charges drawn up against the president?
Yeah, because he had impeachable offenses.
Legality is subjective.
That's
okay?
fine, but legally he broke the law and had impeachable
It's
offenses.
subjective. Obviously not. You didn't impeach him.
No, he was absolutely impeached. He wasn't removed. There's a difference.
Okay, well then you didn't accomplish your goal.
Okay, what does that have to do with him being impeached?
Then well, what I'm telling you is you didn't succeed.
Okay, yeah, why?
Okay, because you're not effective at what you do.
No.
The same reason you lost the election.
That's fine.
The same reason you haven't eradicated racism.
You're pivoting off of the point.
I'm not pivoting.
You literally are. You're saying the reason why it wasn't accomplished when Donald Trump being impeached but not removed. How does the impeachment process work?
What does that have to do with what I said?
Because you said
you want to draw me into a long conversation.
You lost. Was not accomplished because we're unable to achieve the goal. And I said, why? And you said because you're ineffective. So again, I need you to explain to me, how does the impeachment process work?
I don't know everything about it.
Okay, I'll cover it. No worries. So
why?
The impeachment process starts in
the House. Did you win?
The impeachment process starts in the House. And with the House, they actually brought the articles of impeachment for Donald Trump. The House was led by the Democratic Party. And so since they actually had the majority, they had the ability to actually impeach Donald Trump. Now, what happens from the impeachment process is the articles of impeachment, if approved, are sent to the Senate for a actual hearing and a decision to remove. The Senate was then led by Mitch McConnell. And Mitch McConnell made the decision to not only hold a swift trial for Donald Trump, but refuse to allow his caucus to vote to remove Donald Trump, even after more Republicans were upset by the events of January 6th, including people that still support Donald Trump today. At that time, Lindsey Graham was one of the loudest people saying that what Donald Trump did was unacceptable and he needed to be held accountable. But the Republican Party didn't have the spine to actually hold Donald Trump accountable. So that's why the removal portion never occurred, because the Republican Party held power within the Senate, and the Senate has the power to officially remove.
You lost.
Sure, more like we lost, but cool.
Okay,
like,
so
again,
like I said,
it's not about you and me. See, this
you
is
didn't accomplish your goal.
This is well, that wasn't my goal. That
well,
was
the Democrats did the Democrats accomplish their goal?
Yeah, that was the goal of the United States people, right? The Donald Trump incited a sedition, or incited a group that tried to overthrow the United States government, and this should be impartial, right? See, this is the problem that I have done. When it comes to people on the right that are willing to, for some reason, cape for like shit that we should all be agreeing on, it doesn't make sense to me.
We shouldn't be agreeing on it.
So you and I should agree that our United States government should not be overthrown?
Wasn't overthrown.
No. The question is, can we agree that the United States government should not be overthrown?
No.
Okay, why do you think the United States government should be overthrown?
If it does something wrong,
Yeah,
in my opinion, if it does something wrong in my, but
yeah,
in
so
my
we can
opinion,
add that stipulation.
that's my opinion.
If there's something that is justifiably wrong that the United States government is doing, I don't care about like subjectively. Let's talk about objectively. If the United States government is breaking the Constitution or specifically harming American people, things like that, then sure. But in general, especially based off of lies, should we want the United States government overthrown?
You said if it does, you talk a lot. The thing you said me if it's breaking the Constitution.
No, I'm saying based off of lies, can we agree based off of lies we should not want the United States government overthrown?
Depends on the lie. Like you're saying broad things.
No. So are you saying that if someone lies, then you're okay with the government being overthrown? Not lies in the sense of the government, but lies and says the government is doing A, B, or C when it's not really happening. You can get behind someone lying to you to weaponize you to overthrow the government.
It depends. That's a broad. It depends on the situation. It depends on what they're telling me. Hold on. It depends on what they're telling me. It depends on what the process is. It depends on if I'm going to be successful in what I'm doing.
So what you're saying is that you are in agreement and willing to accept a lie that allows you to possibly overthrow the government.
I would have to know. It depends on what the lie is. It depends on what the steps were. Like you're saying things that are broad. It's like, do I want to go outside? Well, it depends on what the weather's like. You're just saying things that.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Like the premise that you're good with lies being weaponized to overthrow the government, like that doesn't make sense. And either you're being disingenuous or you're fucking crazy. Either one, I don't want to deal with. W's in the chat for Laugh Out Leslie for the $10 super chat to say, I know it's still early, but those who are saying they may run, who do you think would be more likely to uphold the ideas on the screen? AOC feels like would, but what do you think? Yes, AOC for sure. That's why AOC is the person that's behind the Resolute desk. AOC is my candidate, my pick for 2028. W's in the chat for Diminish, who sent a $10 super chat to say the guest is confused. Focus and strength without moral is bankruptcy. He has morality bankrupt. He's morally bankrupt like his masters. God damn. W's in the chat for Denise, who sent another $5 super chat to say BLM was a worldwide noble movement, not riots. J6, not so much. Again, moral bankruptcy. I completely agree. W's in the chat for Tinky, who sent a $10 super chat to say some too early, some too late. Some citizens can't, some AGs can't. If nobody has standing and no time is appropriate to bring voter fraud suits, there's no way to fight voter fraud. Exactly. Like we have to ensure that we are holding not only our elections, and we are holding credible elections, but anyone who engages in any type of active harm towards our process needs to be held accountable. W's in chat for Laugh Out Leslie for the $5 super chat to say charges have been dropped and pardons on a conviction are two different things. I completely agree. W's in the chat for Junior for the $1 donation saying Dun is walking pro-abortion. People need to swallow more and we'll have fewer people like him. Yeah. W's in the chat for K Lala. Hey K Lala, who sent the $1.90. This guy is an awful bigot POS and his mind is not going to change. Since the Lions are out, go Panthers. I know that's right. Fucking keep pounding. It is playoff day, baby. You're my favorite. You're my favorite. And W's in the chat for Thomas for the $20 donation. Holy shit. W's in the chat for Thomas for the $20 donation saying he knows that he's not white, right? He doesn't. He doesn't. W's in the chat for all the donors, guys. If anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and Linktree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, only request up if you disagree with something on the background or you are a Trump supporter. I can't believe you guys said he would lie. I can't believe the guy said, yeah, no, like the fucking cognitive dissonance is mind blowing. No, he wasn't white. Dun Dun was absolutely not white. He was a misogynist, though. I mean, he definitely holds some anti-blackness. Like it's bad. Hi, Jared. Are you a Trump supporter or someone that disagrees
Yes, I
with something
am.
in the background?
Yes, I am. How you doing?
You have an echo. I don't know if or it sounds like you are listening something, but I'm not sure what's happening.
Oh no, yeah, you have an echo. That's my fault. But I am a Trump supporter.
You have an echo. Are you listening on another device as well?
Oh yeah, the TV. My bad.
Can you mute the TV?
Yeah, my fault. My fault. Yeah. So the one thing I want to talk about is the lockup.
Wait. The
my bad.
TV
Sorry.
is still. We can still hear it in the background.
Okay. All right. Better.
Nope. Still
No.
here. Can you mute or turn the TV off?
Yeah. Okay. The volume. Yeah. Is it better?
Yep. Way better.
All right. My apologies.
Yep. All right.
All right.
So you are a Trump supporter, and so
Yes.
the premise that I'm working off of, Jared, is these are the key things that are going to win the 2028 presidential election. Even more so, these are the things that are going to benefit all Americans, including people like yourself that may want to vote against those things. So, what's the drawback for you?
Well, it's Gavin Newsom who won't fix California.
I don't care about Gavin Newsom specifically. I mean, when I say the background, I'm talking about the points, not the people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when you said lock him up, the RNC, you put the DMs accountable too, not just the RNC.
The who else accountable?
Like the DNC, like the Democrats.
Oh yeah, fucking lock them up too. I don't care.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's just that the RNC, the people on the right are currently in power, and they're the ones that's perpetuating the most amount of harm. But the point that I'm trying to get across is anyone who is weaponizing their power in order to either enrich themselves or harm the American people, they need to be held accountable, period. I don't care which side they're on.
So no party's even, no party's equal.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Get them all. Just like with the Epstein list, I don't care who's on the list, get them all.
So for Bill Clinton, for instance?
Sure. Bill Clinton. There's no name that you're going to be able to name, and I'm going to be like, nah, not that one. Yes, you just keep that going forward. I don't care what name you throw out. Yes, lock them all up. You can. If my mom was in power and she was doing illegal shit, then lock her up too. Yes, I don't care. There's no name that you can give me.
Gotcha. And then so we were talking about BLM earlier. Well, the other guy's delusional. So BLM, But let's talk about the Jewish people. Do you feel that the Jewish people should not get punched or get banned just because they're Jewish?
What the fuck are you talking about? Get punched or banned because they're Jewish?
I see videos.
I don't care about videos. I don't want to talk about Jewish people. Like, I don't know what you're trying to do as far as like that, but I would really love for you to engage with one of these points on the background. How about that?
So, well, I'm not all there with the politics yet. I'm just barely getting started. So,
are you down like the alt-right pipeline? Are you a groiper?
What does that mean?
You know what that means. The fact that you just said what does that mean lets me know that you're definitely a groiper.
As in what?
Are you someone that supports and engages in Nick Fuentes content?
Neither. I'm not a Nick Fuentes fan.
How old are you for TikTok purposes?
33.
What year were you born?
92.
Okay. So let me run through this really quick, and maybe we can streamline this conversation and get on the same page, because I think that maybe you need a little bit of help as far as understanding where I'm coming from. So the point that I'm getting across is that the Republican Party, right, has all the power currently in our country. And not only does the Republican Party have all the power within our country, but they're overwhelmingly harming everyday Americans in multiple ways. And we're at the point now where people are willing to vote against their own best interests. And I'm saying I don't give a fuck about people voting against their own best interests. We're going to do these things regardless. And for anyone to actually get my vote, anyone that is going to be the DNC nominee, they have to be willing to stand on all of these things, right? And which including locking up anyone that is engaged in any type of illegal or harmful activities on the right, who has held power. They have to give us universal health care. That's not a if, and, or but. We deserve universal health care. Roe versus Wade has to be codified into law. I'm tired of playing with women's rights. Free college is a must. We should have access to free college as a quote unquote developed nation. And last but not least, reparations for non-white people. The United States of America was built on hate, hurt, and harm, and they have harmed multiple groups of people, including indigenous people, including Black people, and hell, even the people that are being caught up on all of the things that are occurring with ICE now. So reparations for all people. So the premise of what I'm saying is all of these things are a must for the Democratic nominee, not a nice to have.
Right, right. So you're saying that ISIS is racist?
Say what?
So you're saying ISIS is racist?
ISIS?
Yeah, you're saying that they're racist?
You mean the terrorist organization, ISIS?
Yeah.
In the Middle East, ISIS, or do you mean ICE?
No, ICE.
You do understand that ISIS is a terrorist organization in the Middle East, and ICE.
No, I'm talking one that just happened with the shooter.
Where does it say anything about ICE being racist on my background?
Well, you just said non-white reputation.
Reparations. Do you know what reparations are?
Like, I don't know what. Yeah, whatever. Well, anyways, let's get to the next topic.
Sure. Do this for me. I'm going to thank a couple of people. I want you to swipe out for half a second and look up what the word reparations mean, and then come back to me. Okay. You don't have to leave. You can just go like you're checking a text message, but just swipe up for half a second and look up the word reparation. And I'm going to thank a couple of people. Debbie's in the chat for Gray, who sent a $3 donation saying, what about Harris Tellerico? I mean, that's something. My ticket would be AOC and Bernie Sanders, even though I know Bernie Sanders is way too old. So I could get behind an AOC Andy Bashir ticket. AOC has to be at the top of the ticket. I could see that working. AOC and Andy Bashir, or, you know, some other generic white man. Anyway, W's in the chat for Gray. Thank you so much for that $3 donation. W's in the chat for MAGA Cries for the $2 donation saying, I hate to disagree with you, Santana, but as it stands right now, we don't have a chance in 2028 without Newsom. With that being said, I would love to see Newsom AOC ticket. Yeah, I think Gavin Newsom is an uphill climb because of the connection with California. I think a lot of people have a misconception as far as what is happening in California, and it's going to be a hard thing for him to shake off, even though I think that he's done an amazing job in California. But yeah, I think that's going to be the thing that holds him back, because people just have this wildly negative position when it comes to California, even though California has, outperformed the rest of the states in the country. It's weird. W's in the chat for Brianna, who said a $25 donation. Thank you so much, Brianna. $25 saying, keep up the inspiring work that you do, Brianna. Thank you so much for that fucking $25. You're fucking awesome. W's in the chat for Adamo for the $5 super chat to say, just getting started, but has his neo-Yahtzee supremacy down packed. Yeah, he is. He's leaning into it. Just getting started, but he knows how to be a Nazi. W's in the chat for Denise. Holy fucking shit. Guys, I need to see 1 million W's in the chat for Denise. 1 million W's in the chat for Denise. 1 million W's in the chat for Denise. Denise sent $100 donation. Denise said, Santana, I want to add that Judge McCrane let a privileged, wealthy, famous white man go sentence free for 34 felony convictions because he was campaigning. This nation witnessed some folks are above the law. You and I'd be wearing orange vests and picking up trash on the highway. That's the point that I am absolutely making. The actual point is that, like, no one should be above the law and people should be held accountable. Hey, Jared, you have to swipe back into the app every once in a while or to kick you out. So I have to come back for a second and then you can go back out. The premise
So
that
it-
people are above the law is absolutely something that we should not engage in. And we know our country has a history of not holding wealthy people accountable, men accountable, white men accountable. Wealthy white men are damn near impervious to accountability. So absolutely, guys. W's in chat for Denise. If anyone else likes support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and Linktree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, look up at the top. If you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. This is the backup account. Hit that follow button, but follow the main account as well. We're bouncing back and forth. So make sure you follow both accounts. Turn on the notifications so you know when I go live. Goose said grifter. Ooh, Goose. I'm going to mute you because I don't give a shit what you're saying in the comments. Get up here and tell me about it. Get up here and tell me about it, Bub. Who's a grifter? How am I grifting? I'm confused. Jared, anyway, did you look up what the word reparations mean? If you are out of the app, then we can't hear you. You have to actually be back in the app in order to for me to hear you.
Okay, yeah, I just know a little bit. All right. Making the memes, what does that mean?
Amends?
Yeah.
Like making people whole for things that have been done.
Okay, so yeah. Yeah, like I said, I voted for Trump. Yeah, he shouldn't be accountable for his actions. So it's like Bill Clinton.
Did you say he shouldn't be accountable for his actions?
No, he should. He should.
He should be accountable for his actions?
Yeah.
So he should eat people for his actions. Is that why he talked about Hannibal Lecter so much?
No. What?
You said he should be accountable for his actions.
Yeah.
Accountable.
Yeah.
Do you know there's a difference between accountable and accountable?
Yeah, accountable means he can't. Accountable means he could.
Accountable and a cannibal.
Yeah.
Do you know what a cannibal is?
Nah.
Did you know that you just said a cannibal?
My head's going crazy. Can we skip?
I'm sorry, skip what?
My mic's going crazy. All right, so.
What does your mic have to do with you saying the word a cannibal?
Yeah, I'm not all there. All right.
You mean, okay, so you're talking about accountable.
Yeah.
He should be held accountable for his actions.
Mm-hmm.
Just FYI, cannibals are people that eat people.
All right then. Yeah.
So don't say that word anymore. That's not the word that you meant.
My apologies. My apologies.
No, it's all good. I'm just trying to help you out.
All right.
Go ahead.
When Kamala Harris was running, the three things I don't think she could do is the inflation.
I don't care about when Kamala Harris was running in 2024. I'm talking about 2028, and I'm talking about these things on the background.
All right.
Do you not like any of these? Is any of these things elicit any type of negative reaction from you? Any of these things? Any of these things make you say, I don't like that one?
No, not really.
Okay, so you agree with everything on the background?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so you're going to be voting for the Democrats in 2028?
Fuck no.
Why not if you agree with all the things on the background?
Because of just bias.
What's just bias?
The way how you put them up, like lock them up, universal healthcare. Copy.
Okay, so if you agree with them, then how can they be biased?
Because you're a Democrat, right?
You just said you agree with them.
Yeah, because no one is above the law.
Okay, is there something that you don't agree with?
Lock them up.
You just said that you agree with it. Okay, so you disagree with locking them up.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's so unfair for them.
What's unfair about holding people accountable for their crimes?
Because Obama, for instance, he sent more migrants than Trump. Right? Am I right?
What the fuck does that have to do with crimes and people committing crimes?
Because he imported more than Trump. What was this when he was a president?
What does Barack Obama deporting people have to do with holding politicians accountable for the crimes that they have committed?
Because you're holding Trump, but you won't hold Obama. So how is that fair?
What crimes did Obama commit? I've already said, yes, if Obama committed crimes. I said, you can't, there's no name you can give me that I don't hold accountability for. So if Obama committed a crime, then yes, lock him up as well. But really quick, I normally don't do this because I think this is a waste of time, but I feel like this is important to do this in this very moment with you. What are the 3 branches of government?
I had no.
No, don't look them up. Come back. Don't look them up. Come back. What are the 3 branches of government?
I know there's 3 of them.
Sure, I just said there are 3. I said, what are the 3?
Branch, right? The branches. Something with ranch or whatever.
Okay. Did you vote in this last election?
Yeah.
And you voted for Donald Trump?
1000%.
Tell me why.
Because of the war that was going on with Ukraine. Joe Biden was soft. He's delusional.
What's tariff?
Tariffs when you had to send goods, right? Like laptops, food, electronics.
What about Donald Trump was super appealing to you?
Because I thought he was a racist.
You support Donald Trump because you think he's a racist?
No, because Joe Biden was. Because y'all don't look it up.
I said, what about Donald Trump was appealing to you?
Because of the black people in the Central Park. And then what? I don't know.
Serious question, and I'm being 100% serious with this question, and I would really like it if I can get a serious answer. Are you trolling right now?
No, I'm not. No.
You're genuinely not trolling?
Nah, 1000%.
Okay. So Jared, since you're not trolling, I'm gonna move on to the next person, and I'm not moving on to the next person because you are like, I think you're trolling or anything like that. Jared, I don't think that you have the ability to not only articulate your point on this live at this point, but I think that you are willfully uneducated as far as the different aspects of politics, government, and I think that me engaging in a quote unquote debate or even a conversation with you at this point, not only would it not be fruitful, but it would be punching down, and I refuse to punch down. So Jared, what I am saying is, 1, maybe just hang out in my live for a while and listen and learn a few things, but 2, you should probably educate yourself, because if you don't know the 3 branches of the United States government, then that's a problem. But even more than that, if you don't know the basic fundamentals of the things that you believe in and the principles that you stand on, then you're voting from a sense of ignorance, and not only a sense of ignorance, but you're voting from a sense of harm. So you absolutely need to educate yourself and have a better understanding before you cast your next ballot, because your vote that you submitted for Donald Trump is overwhelmingly harmful to not only other people, but yourself. Okay?
All right, you have a good one.
Please hang around in the live and listen and learn, okay?
Yeah. All right, later.
I would have much rather him have been trolling. W's in chat for Gene for the $10 donation saying, Santana, you're accountable because you're eating these MAGA clowns daily. Listen, I do what I got to do. W's in the chat for, let's see here. Oh, I don't know why they're coming in like this. This is weird. W's in the chat for Kristen for the $10 donation saying, you're better than any podcast. Keep up the good work. Listen, you don't try to butter my biscuit. Kristen also followed up with a $5 donation saying, dude isn't equipped for the debate. He's a brick wall. Never mind you. Exactly. I peeped it as well. W's in the chat for Shannon for the $5 donation said, it's sad that this guy votes carries the same weight as yours and mine. That's the point that I really like to call out. That's like, literally, that's the point that I want to make sure that people understand. The reason why it's so important for us to not only vote, but it's important for us to be clear, concise, and have an understanding of our message, because people like that, not only do they get a vote, but they're easily swayed by misinformation and disinformation. And so if we place these beneficial things in front of them and we say that, hey, these are the things that we're going to do for you. And we can help these people get to the point where they need to be. I'm at the point where I don't give a shit if you agree with universal healthcare or not. You're going to take it. You're going to take this healthcare. I am forcing healthcare on you. Yes. Like, I don't give a shit anymore. So like, that's where we are. W's in the chat for Laugh Out Leslie for the $10 super chat to say, I've always loved Bernie, and AOC has definitely gotten my support over the years. I think they would be an absolute powerhouse. They both have proved their own worth for fighting for us. Exactly. If Bernie Sanders was 10 years younger, then like AOC at the top and Bernie Sanders as a VP would be a fucking phenomenal ticket. W's in the chat for It's War, who sent a $10 super chat Canadian to say, how does someone make it to be his age and still this unintelligent? The United States education system is sad. That's why we absolutely need free college. W's in chat for Damo for the $5 super chat to say, don't know what cannibal is, but knows everything about them people that are Nazi hates. Yeah, like fucking Nazis are wild. W's in the chat for Cullen for the $1.99 super chat to say, there ain't no way this dude 33. The bad part is I think he was. I believe it. And holy fuck, W's in the chat for Gail. Gail said a $50 donation. Let's fucking go, Gail. W's in the chat for Gail. Gail said, you know, Gail, I do. W's in the chat for Gail. W's in the chat for Wendy for the $10 donation saying they're coming out of the woodworks today. Trump appeal invalidates their stupidity. You have patience. I have to have patience. I absolutely have to have patience because it's necessary. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out, guys. Only request up. Hey, thank you for the crane. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with anything on the background. Anything on the background. We are not looking to talk to friendlies. We're only looking for some debates. I can't see. Is that leaving? I can't see your username. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Lindy, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and drop you. Let's see here. Yes, there was a lot of noise. I don't understand what was happening there. On Street, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? On Street, are you a Trump supporter or disagrees with something on the background? Okay, I'm gonna drop you guys. Take a look at the bottom of your screen. If you see a pink and blue person, you're good. You're good. If you see a pink and blue person, that you're good. But if you see a gray person, that means you are in the request and you are here ready to debate. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or if you disagree with anything on the background. The 2028 agenda has been set. This is what we are running on as a left-leaning group, and every single person has to get behind this. We have to get behind locking up those people within the RNC that are doing illegal things. We have to hold them accountable. We have to get behind universal health care. That is no longer an option. Everyone in the United States will have health care. We have to get behind codifying Roe versus Wade. I am over the conversation about women's rights. We have to have free college for every single American because we've done it before and we can do it again. And last but not least, we have to have reparations for non-white people. And I'm not just talking about Black people. I'm talking about indigenous people. And I'm even talking about people that are being massively, overwhelmingly harmed by what's happening currently with ICE. Yes, brown people as well. So if you disagree with any of these things on the background, or if you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. We are only looking for some debates. Do not request up if you're not a Trump supporter or you do not disagree. Is it Delano?
Delano. Hi.
Delano. Hi, Delano. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I think I disagree with the free college. I'm not a Trump supporter though.
Okay. Tell me why you disagree with offering free college to American citizens.
I guess it's not that I think that it's harmful. I just think that it's not very consequential. I'm just not really convinced of how consequential it is.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm not sure exactly what problems free college solves compared to other education fixes.
What other education fixes are you referring to?
Curriculum improvements before college.
Okay.
So I guess
that?
my big gripe is that, like, I'm currently under the impression that free college is supposed to, like, solve the issue of, like, anti-intellectualism and broken democracy because of lack of critical thinking, things like that, evidence-based searches. Is that right? Or
no? The premise of free college is that having access to higher learning is something that should be attainable for every single American, especially because we are considered a quote unquote developed nation, and is something that is available in other countries, right? It's an actual gateway to improving economic standards and standards within society. While there is a need to improve our overall levels of education, especially from K through 12th grade, having that ability to actually attain higher education and progress is something that should be available and not restricted based off of like economic standards or other things like that. We understand that like those people that earn or that earn graduate degrees are higher earners and have the ability to advance in their careers more. So at least giving a free public option would be something that would allow us to improve our economic status and give people something to drive towards. It's not necessarily saying that it's going to fix things within our country, but it does provide the ability for people who want to improve their social economic status to do so.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I generally agree with all of that.
Also, just FYI, I'll give you this, like we can chew gum and walk at the same time. I agree with you. Like we need to address the actual the overall educational system within the United States. So like I don't think that free education would improve the educational system. It would just incentivize certain people and then also give people additional options that they didn't have before. Like for me specifically, I got accepted into 3 colleges out of high school. And the reason why I went to the college that I went to is because it was free. I was poor and didn't have any money and I couldn't afford like student loans and all this other stuff. And so the only reason I went to the college that I went to is because it was free. If all of them would have been free, then I would have picked like my number 1 option. Right. So like that's the point.
Okay. A lot of these campuses have things like tennis and pools and things like that. And the schools often say that the tuition goes to paying for things like that. Are you expecting to keep those things in the campuses or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all a fucking scam. Like,
right,
like, yes. Okay. We understand maintaining the actual school is, is costly, but so I guess to be more specific and to lay it out where it really is, I'm not advocating for all colleges to be free.
Okay,
excuse me. I'm only advocating for a public option, right?
Sure.
And like public schools are funded by the state already. And so since they're funded by the state, there should be options for people within that state. If you are from that state, you should be able to go to that school for free, right? And so that's the premise that I'm going off of. And also, question for you. Did you know that college used to be free in the United States, or free or very low costing in some situations, but for the majority of people free?
I didn't know it, but I'll tell you how unsurprised I am. I'm this unsurprised.
Yeah. You would, if you're this unsurprised at the moment, would you be willing to guess why they no longer made college free?
I would guess that it has something to do with like private sector lobbying. Go ahead.
Racism.
Oh, sure.
After the passing of the Civil Rights Act and Black people started to obtain higher learning degrees, or Black people started to enroll in those free public colleges because they now had access, they made the decision that around the time of Reagan, they made the decision that they were going to switch this and say these public colleges are no longer free, basically because too many Black people were getting degrees. Like that's the only reason they said that it's no longer free, right? It was literally just too many Black people getting educated.
That makes it sound a little bit more like kind of like the voter suppression type stuff. You know,
I mean, our country has a history of that, with, you know, voter suppression with like poll taxes and literacy tests and all this other stuff. But like literally a lot of the things that have occurred throughout the history of our country have been geared and charged by racism, so much so to the tune that people are being harmed, like white people are being harmed due to them engaging in racism, right? They don't understand that racism hurts them as well. There was a study that was completed by Citibank Group that said that the United States has lost over $16 trillion directly due to racism, right? The racist practice that have been engaged in throughout our country and our institutions has lost that amount of money for our country.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. This is a lot of new information on a Saturday morning. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
You really tied the loose end with saying that, like, when you say free colleges, you're not saying exclusively free colleges. So that was a loose end that, like, you definitely tied up for me. I do have a little bit of a question, and like as a response to that point, would you expect like quality differences between private campuses and public campuses in terms of like rock walls and pools and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, like it's the same premise that I gave when talking about like healthcare, right? While I am advocating for a public option, I'm not restricting private options. And if you're willing to actually pay for private options, you can get what you pay for, right? When I say offer these public options, I believe in a standard, meaning everyone has a floor. Now the ceiling can be as high as people want to take it, but everyone should have a standard floor that can be obtained. And that's the point that I'm looking for, where everyone can at least be able to have access to those things. And so when it comes to like, you know, is this college going to have like a pool? Sure. I mean, they need a pool if they have a swimming team or whatever. But should this college have like 15 pools with jet skis and all this other shit? No. Right. I mean, like, let's just have the basic standards at the very least.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think if I try to disagree with you further, it's going to be like cutting hairs and ultimately agreeing with the whole free college thing.
Yeah.
So, but I really appreciate you. You know, I usually watch, you know, I watch you like at least every other day, and I always agree with you. So, and you're cute as heck. So I love your hat.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Well,
have a good one.
Thank you for coming up. You have a great one.
See ya.
W's in the chat for Nicole, who sent a $5 donation saying, without college, I would still be a Trump supporter because of my parents. Speak it into existence. I know that's right. College opened my eyes to a whole new world, especially how systematic racism exists today. Literally, right? People who are more educated tend to be left-leaning voters. And it really just boils down to being able to not only expand your mind, but opening your mind up to more understanding. I think that one thing that the Republican Party and conservatives rely on is fear. And without them engaging in fear and fear mongering and people not understanding how things work, it makes it harder to get like things across, because they're actively advocating for things that harm the people that are voting for them. But if they do it under the guise of like, hey, you either vote for me to do this or these people are going to get you. Like, yeah. Debbie's in the chat for Kayla for the $5 donation saying, did you know that Mexico offers free college for residents and also has free childcare? That's another one. That's a great one that I didn't get to add to the background, but we definitely need to address childcare as well, like period. Thanks for what you do. Thank you, Kayla. You're fucking awesome. And holy fuck, Denise, what are you doing? Guys, fucking W's in the chat for Denise for the $50 donation. What the fuck is happening? Denise sent a $50 donation saying, I jumped into politics in the 80s when Reagan screwed us up. My predictions often sadly come true. I'm telling people I believe Trump will be stripping our indigenous people of their tribal land. They will not stop mitigating criminal greed drives them. Exactly. Like the whole point is the things that they're doing, it's all driven by greed. And it's super interesting to see how they're willing to give over power to the top 1%. And that's why I always tell people to look up the term plutocracy, because that's what they're shooting for. Like literally, that's what they want in our country. That was in the chat for Miss, who sent a $10 super chat to say, I know we all have the right to vote, but the willfully stupid are taking full advantage of it. I agree. And you know what? Not gonna lie, I am okay with the premise as far as us having to pass some level of a civics test in order to be able to vote. Like, I agree. Yes, voting is a constitutional right, but like when you don't know things and you're willfully voting off of like ignorance, then I don't know how you square that circle, but I wouldn't be against it. Not gonna hold you. W's in the chat for Ella, who sent a $4.99 super chat to say, as a Polish immigrant kid, I now support reparations based on your views. However, I believe the need comes from taxing wealthy companies. Add to the list. Listen, I'm with it. You will never hear me not say eat the rich, because fucking eat the rich. Yes, and corporations, like fucking have them pay more. W's in chat for Fifth Mark for the $4.99 super chat to say again, find the interview. Trump explains in one sentence, it will be ammunition for you guys. They need to hear, need to know you hate this part, promise you. I'm not sure what clip you're talking about. I'm a little confused as far as what clip you're talking about, but if you reply on your super chat and let me know, I'll definitely check it out. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links, and Linktree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted, anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background. This is the 2028 Democratic ticket agenda. If you are going to be someone that is driving the Democratic Party in 2028, these are non-negotiables. These are non-starters. Every single thing on this background must happen, and I am standing on big business. True North, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I don't disagree with anything. I just want to give you a piggyback. I am a teacher in Florida.
Appreciate you so much, but we are only looking for Trump supporters or someone that disagrees with something on the background. If you're friendly, you can drop something in the chat. If I see it, I'll read it out. You can send a super chat or a donation and I'll read that out. You can even possibly get it to some of my amazing mods. I know we have mods on both platforms, but please, 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 we are only looking for people that are either Trump supporters or disagree with something on the background, because we are looking for some debates. Matt, are you a Trump supporter or someone that disagrees with something on the background?
I had a clarification for you on the non-white reparations part, because there's something that I wanted to kind of clarify your view on and see how far it goes. Because of the sheer volume of how many groups the U.S. has discriminated against or had like discriminatory practices towards at any point in our history, would you extend that towards like the Irish immigrants who were discriminated against once they came here after the potato famine and other groups such as that? Because that's kind of where I think it gets a little bit muddy.
Yeah,
but in general,
I mean, I see your point, and I thought about that as well. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
and the only reason I say no, though, is because now Irish people benefit from white privilege, right? I mean, they have the guise of being white now, and so yeah, I get your premise, but nah, they get no love.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I wanted to clarify, because I know that the discrimination they went through wasn't as long lasting. It didn't. It's not continuously going on today.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to see if it extended to like smaller periods of time, such as that, or if it was just longer lasting.
Yeah,
such as what people are going through today.
If they were still being disenfranchised as today, I would definitely get behind it. But the fact that they actually were integrated and accepted as, you know, white people within America, and they now clearly lean into their whiteness and the privilege that it affords them, yeah, they can't get it.
Got it. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you so much for what you do, Santana. I really appreciate it.
I'll just tell you this, Matt. I'm sure that there's a ton of Black people that would trade white privilege over reparations. Like if we could have white privilege, we'll take that shit. So just say,
oh yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from. I just really wanted to clarify that. Totally support what you do. We'll really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a good one. Guys, am I chat for the Black people in the chat? Am I tripping? Am I tripping? If if we had the ability, not saying be white, right? But if instead of reparations, they could give us white privilege, I'd take that shit in a heartbeat. I would, if I had white privilege, you guys would be sick of me. Oh shit, you guys would be sick of me. Not gonna hold you. If I had white privilege, you guys would be fucking sick and tired of me. Not gonna hold you. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Sherlock, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, Codify Roe v. Wade.
Ooh, okay. But wait, not so it's just the background. So are you a Trump supporter as well, or do you just disagree with that point?
I would disagree with that point. I wouldn't say that I'm a Trump supporter. I would prefer him over the other candidate, but I wouldn't support him.
But are you someone that normally leans left or right with your political ideology?
I would consider myself I would lean right, yeah. I mean, I'm a conservative.
Okay. Perfect. So I'm gonna eat my cracker with cheese, and I'm gonna give you a few minutes to explain to me your premise as far as why you disagree with codification of Roe, and when doing so, can you tell me a little bit more about your worldview, where your morality lies, why you are against the codification of it, and then to the furthest extent, would you be willing to accept a nationwide abortion ban?
Yeah, sure, I can do that. Yeah, well, first, just to be clear, I think we have to have the normative conversation before about the pragmatics, because law is predicated off of morality. And I would actually, if you convince me that abortion was moral, then I agree that it should be legal. But if I am right and it is immoral, then the next question becomes, should it be restricted? And if so, how much? So before we get to the pragmatics, we'd actually have to talk about the normative. That's just my opinion, number one. Number two, where my morality comes from, it comes from a certain set of intuitions that I have and have thought of through reasoning. And why I would think that abortion is wrong is because what fundamentally makes the unaliving of any human wrong is the fact that it has a future valuable experiences.
Okay, cool. All right, Sherlock. I got a question for you.
Do you agree or disagree with anything I said?
Oh, I don't really care about agreeing or disagreeing with the things that you said, because I'm going to take this complete different direction. One, have you watched any of my lives?
I was in here yesterday, but I didn't really listen.
Okay, cool. Have you debated many people on the left before?
Quite a few, yeah. I'm known in the debate space.
Sure. Who's your favorite person to debate?
On the left?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably Jennifer. You're friends with her.
Oh, Jen. Yeah. Jen's super cool. Have you went full debate bro with any of the other people that really engage with debate bros?
Yeah, Jen, we literally have each other added on Discord and stuff. Yeah.
No. I'm saying I know Parker loves the debate bros, and he can do that.
Oh no, he doesn't.
Jeff loves debate bros. He can do that. Have you ever locked in with any of them?
Not yet, but I plan to. I mean, I have friends who have debated with Parker, and he got rolled with hylomorphism, soul theory, all that.
Cool. All right. One thing that I want to give you kind of a fair warning about with me is I'm not a debate bro. I don't lean into holding to the specific parameters of debate P1, P2, P3, blah, 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 blah. So I just want to give you a fair warning before we did this, because this is about to get a little funky. All right. So
I mean, hey, just to clarify, if you struggle to track anything, I can just break things down, and I'm probably gonna ask questions too.
Oh, I appreciate you, Bub. Thank you. Anywho, the point that I'm getting to, right, is I think morality is subjective, right? So I don't give a shit about your morality. I also don't give a shit about the premise as far as something being more moral and blah, 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 blah. But what I do want to know, though, is coming back to the premise as far as what I said. Since you hold the position that abortion is murder is immoral, would you be willing to accept a nationwide abortion ban?
Let's question begging that morality is subjective.
I'm sorry?
That's question begging that morality is subjective.
Oh, I don't give a fuck if you think it is or not. I'm telling you, morality is subjective. But
yeah,
that
that's question
doesn't.
begging. Do you know what that is?
You're getting hung up on. I'm telling you, I'm not a debate bro, so I'm not gonna give you what's the definition of. I want to
never
get to
asked
the
for a
meat and potato. No. I'm trying to let you know I don't do what's the definition of. The point that I'm trying to get to is I would like for you to answer the question directly. Would you be willing to support a nationwide abortion ban? Yes or no?
Depends what that ban would contain and what's inside of the law of the bill. I'm an incrementalist.
So a nationwide abortion ban, meaning women do not have the access to abortion unless there are exceptions, which the exceptions would be whatever you hold to the exception. Some people say like life of the mother.
So ban all elective abortions?
Yeah, so certain people say they're willing to accept it with like life of the mother, incest, and
I'm fine with that.
Okay, cool. And would you be good with enforcing the nationwide abortion ban by every legal means outside of like, putting a gun to someone and like forcing them to that extent, like non-violent legal means? Would you be good with enforcing it in every way?
Maybe. I don't know.
Cool. All right. So this is what I'm thinking, Sherlock, right? And one last question, just to verify.
Can I ask a question? Because can I make a point after this too?
You absolutely can. I just want to verify this though, because I love to make sure that I don't conflate these things, because oftentimes I miss shit. How many uteruses do you have?
Hang on, let me check.
Mm-hmm.
None.
Perfect. That's what I was thinking. I have none either. So since neither one of us have any uteri, right? I have no interest in actually debating abortion.
Then why is it on your palm?
I was just about to say, this is an actual way to reel in people like you that want to actually do this, because I have a banging idea. I have a smashing idea. I have something that I think that you and I can absolutely agree to, right?
Wait, can I make my point now?
Sure. I still want to tell you what I think we can agree to, but go ahead and make your point.
Yeah, sure. It's just when you said morality is subjective, so you're not going to give. Yeah, I know. So you're not going to give a shit about my morals, right? You don't care. Well, I think any rational agent would care about morals, even if it is subjective. If those subjective morals have reasoning and logic behind them, if it doesn't lead to any contradictions or any absurdities, then any rational agent would adopt these subjective morals.
Okay. Does that make you feel better that you got that out?
Well, it should help clear the air on why you should probably give a shit, even if morality is subjective.
Okay. Ask me again now, do I care after you gave me that explanation?
I'm going to assume no, because you're not a rational agent.
Yeah, I guess. I don't give a shit about your morals. So there's that. Perfect. Anyway, so like I was saying, this is what I care about, right? Stick with me on this. Check it out. I agree, right? Let's say I give you, right, that abortion is murder. I can get behind it, right?
You can?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Neither one of us, we can agree that both of us don't want to see babies murdered, right?
You can, but it's
perfect. So since we both can agree that we don't want to see babies murdered, right? And you've already said that you would actually support a nationwide abortion ban with exceptions. And then also you would be willing to actually uphold that ban with all legal means that are outside of, like putting a pew-pew to someone's head. With that being said, I got a fucking banger idea for you. This is something that I think, Sherlock, that you and I, left and right, arm in arm, can actually get behind. I think this is a winning idea. I think this is something that we can actually come together. You know who the Bloods and the Crips are?
I do.
Okay, perfect. You ever seen that image of them with like the blue bandana and the red bandana is tied and they're holding the bandanas together?
No, but I can conceptualize
that. Could be me and you. Me and you can hold the bandana together, and in the middle of the bandana is this idea that I have. Check it out. Tell me what you think.
Oh my gosh, no uterus, no opinion.
Mandatory vasectomies.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that one?
Oh, yeah, no, that shouldn't happen considering the teleology of each procedure.
Wait, okay, hold on. Listen, maybe if I explain it a little bit more, then I could get you on board. So the reason why I say mandatory vasectomies is one, it addresses the root cause of the problem, right? There's no need for an abortion if we actually address the fact that women can't get impregnated without the man's sperm, right? So that eliminates the overall premise of the need of the abortion and even the exceptions, right? Two, it's reversible up to 5 years at the same level of effectiveness. And then after 5 years, depending on the person, in which, you know, the whole 5-year thing depends on the person as well. But depending on the person, it decreases slightly after 5 years. But you can also freeze your sperm prior to that vasectomy. It is a quick outpatient procedure. It's like a quick recovery process. Literally, hey, Sherlock, did you know that you can go get a vasectomy today? And then by what's today? Today's Saturday. By like Wednesday, you could be in the gym hooping. So it's a quick recovery process. It's more safe, effective, and efficient than any form of birth control when it comes to women, right? It's more safe and effective than the pill, the shot, IUD. And again, it eliminates the need to even have, listen, Sherlock.
I could just say the same thing for your side. This is trivial.
Sherlock, hold on, listen.
This is trivial.
You and I can agree, right?
Yeah.
These women, right? Sherlock, women, right? So we can just eliminate the need to have these women making like decisions, and we can just actually worry about the men and take care of that. So my idea is that we advocate for mandatory vasectomies, which completely removes the premise of abortion. So we don't even have to worry about that anymore. I can get you on board for that, right?
Well, the problem is I could just paradox this for your side as well. So this is trivial.
Sure. What's the paradox? I'm confused.
Yeah. So I could just say that instead of getting mandatory vasectomies, how about women and men just stop having smacks? They close their legs.
Oh, easy. Yeah, I don't care about meat watching. That's why I was very clear when I said at the beginning that I don't do morality, right? Because everyone doesn't have a shared morality. And so while you may be interested in meat watching, I think people should have as much sex as they possibly can, legally and consensually. Be safe, people. Hold on, I'm talking to my chat right now. Guys, fuck as many people as you want, whoever you want, but make sure that it's legal, consensual, and safe. Protect yourself. So again, I don't really care about like meat watching. So that's why I would never say like people need to close their legs. So I don't care about that.
Yeah, okay. Did you hear my first response to the vasectomy?
Sure, what was it?
Yeah, there's a different teleology involved when you're talking about abortions and vasectomies. Do you know what teleology is?
No, I don't. Enlighten me, Professor.
Yeah, it's the studies of ends and purposes. So the teleology of an acorn would be to an oak tree. The teleology of a knife is to cut well. The teleology of a human, Aristotle would say, is to complete eudaimonia. You get the whole thing?
Sure. So what does that have to do with implementing vasectomies?
Yeah, well, the teleology of an abortion is ending a life, right? It's just we all agree to that, whether the life is moral or not.
Sure.
Debated.
Okay.
The teleology of a vasectomy is to ideally not get anyone pregnant whatsoever.
So there's no need to end the life.
So why would we do that? It's just like a false.
Sure. So you don't need to end the life.
It's just not analogous.
No. Your premise is right. You're thinking of it in a silo, and you're thinking of the actual. You're thinking of the second phase, right? You're thinking of the second part, right? Your premise is the second part shouldn't occur. My premise is the first part shouldn't occur, right? If you actually address the root cause of the issue, then you don't have to worry about the symptoms. I'm talking about the root cause versus the symptoms. That's the point.
This contradicts like your entire "my body, my choice" movement.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, because you're mandatoring men to get vasectomies, no matter what, not their body, not their choice. But for some reason, it's their body, their choice whenever it comes to abortions. Yeah, it's a contradiction.
You know what, Sherlock? You're right.
Yeah,
You're right. You're absolutely right, Sherlock. You are 100% right.
I know.
It is completely contradictory to the premise as far. Hold on. Let me finish, Bobo.
Yeah, contradiction.
It completely contradicts the point of your body, my choice, your body, all this other stuff. So how about this, right? Since you can't get on board with mandatory vasectomies and I can't get on board with, abortions, how about we do this? Listen, you got to listen, Sherlock, you got to let me finish. how about we do this, right? You don't want to go with my idea. I don't want to go with your idea. I got a compromise, right? That's how we do things. Let's compromise. How about we compromise in the middle and say, instead of mandating people have to ban abortion so they can't have access, or mandating that people have to have vasectomies, how about you and I both agree that people get to do whatever the fuck they want with their bodies, and we don't regulate men nor women's bodies? How about that one? Can we just meet in the middle and say, like, allow the people to make those decisions with their doctors and make the best decisions for them and their families?
How is that a compromise?
Easy, because we're not mandating. Because see, listen, I'm consistent. I believe in mandations for all or mandations for none. And I also believe in like fixing the problem, not just addressing the symptoms. So if we can't agree on the baseline of addressing the root cause of the problem, then let's just let people do what's best for them.
Oh yeah, well I agree. People can do what's best for them. On the contrary, that it's a, presumably it would be a moral action. People can do whatever they want as long as it's moral
again,
action.
you keep talking about morals, but your morals aren't my morals, and my morals aren't your morals.
You have yet to give an argument for subjective morality. You're just questioning.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a fuck about giving.
Do you know what question begging is?
Hey, listen, Sherlock. You're not debating a debate, bro. I refuse to engage. I refuse to engage.
I know you're irrational.
I know. Listen, see, this is the funny thing, right? That's why before we started, I said, hey, have you listened to any of my debates? And then I, begged the question as far as like, who else have you debated? And do you know these other people? Again, the premise that I care about debate bros, I don't. One, I don't give a shit about debate bros. Two, I don't give a shit about the actual concept of debate. Three, I don't give a shit about people doing things that don't hurt other people. It's really, I can give a fuck all whether people do anything that, as long as they're not hurting people, I don't care. So the point being, if you thought that you were going to come here, okay, listen, Bubba, you got to have impulse control, right? So I'm going to mute you. If you thought that you were coming here because this was going to be some type of debate where you could get off of your philosophy point, like your viewpoints, and you could spin different theories and go in circles, you got the wrong one, right? I'm a practical person. I'm a simple man with simple ideas, and I believe in actual rights for people. So if you can't get behind the rights for one, then how about we get behind the rights for all? That's the point.
So do you want me to answer you why I'm not going to hop on Parker and Dean's live?
No, I don't care about that. I'm just saying that if you are interested.
So then that's a non-point.
Yeah, I don't really give a shit about that answer. The point that I'm trying to get across is that I don't really care about debate bros, because you guys don't hold the actual beliefs that you sit here and debate about. The problem that I have with debate bros, right? The problem that I have with debate bros is it's literally just a debate for you. You guys tend to think that you can debate human rights. You guys think that you can actually debate things that have nothing to do with you because you have such a distance from it. But if you were actually one of these marginalized groups that were being affected, then you wouldn't go around wanting to debate women's bodies. If you guys were the ones that were being affected, you wouldn't want to debate the rights of the transgender community, the queer community, of Black people, of all these things. You guys don't want to actually debate the things that directly disenfranchise you, which is fuck all, but you would much rather debate the things that disenfranchise other minority groups because it doesn't affect you. When you can step away and look at this shit as just a concept instead of real life, people are literally dying. Women are literally dying because they don't have access to abortions. And you think that it's cute to actually go hop on TikTok lives and debate whether or not people should live. Or not saying you, because this would be a little bit hyperbolic if I said it was you, but certain people are willing to hop on TikTok lives and fucking debate murder is mind blowing to me. I have no interest in debating whether or not someone was murdered. I have no interest in debating whether or not people should have access to human rights. I have no interest in actually sitting here and debating about something that I don't have to go through myself. So I don't give a shit about your stance on abortion because neither one of us have uteruses. I would love to hear you come up with a better suggestion than mandatory vasectomies when it comes to regulating men. But unless you go purchase a uterus or grow a uterus or some shit like that, I don't really give a fuck about your opinion on women and their bodies.
Cool, can I speak now?
Yes.
Cool, I'm gonna ignore like half of that yap, okay?
Wait,
but
why are you gonna ignore half of it?
Because it's yap. But I do care about the topic.
Wait. But don't ignore this part, okay? The mediocrity of young white men that think that it's okay to run like an argument when it comes to human rights is fucking sickening, and I won't do that. Maybe it's the fact that I'm black. Maybe it's the fact that I'm 38. I'll be 39 in 20 days. My birthday is in 20 days. What the fuck? Maybe it's the fact that I actually care about people. But I have no interest in debating human rights. And I also have no interest in people who are sitting here and thinking that like, oh, I can go back and forth on something that doesn't directly affect me. No. Also, chat, they never want to engage in the mandatory vasectomy point. They always try to pivot back to abortion. They never want to talk about the vasectomies. They always want to talk about the abortion, which is weird. I don't know. W's in the chat for Junior for the $1 donation saying, not a debate, bro. They're the worst. They are. They get so mad too. P1 says if da-da-da-da-da-da, then P2 must be da-da-da-da-da-da, which then P3 equals da-da-da-da-da-da. Give a fuck about that. W's in chat for Gucci for the $5 donation saying, can we deport a Phil bro? Maybe. It's a possibility. W's in the chat for Lynn, I think it's pronounced Lena with a $10 donation saying, one great documented series that demonstrates why reparations are necessary is Hurricane Katrina, Hell or High Water, shows the historical / current white supremacy ideology internationally destroyed thriving black communities, and the concept applies everywhere. All white people need to watch that. W's in the chat, and I fucking agree. W's in the chat for Steve for the $5 donation saying, please just call this Phil bro a little B word for me. I can't say the B word. That's fucked up. And that's why a man should stay in his own lane. Thanks. Love you. I love you too, Stevie. I really appreciate you. Fucking W's in the chat for you. W's in the chat for MAGA Cries for the $2 donation saying, how about you mind your own business, Sherlock? Exactly. And then why the fuck is he trying to meat watch? Why do they always want to meat watch, chat? Like, just because they're not getting none don't mean that we don't want to get some. Like, just because you get snow buns don't mean that everybody else shouldn't get buns. Fuck out of here. I refuse. I absolutely refuse. W's in the chat for Eric, who sent a $1 donation saying, the same people who are against abortion and claim to be pro-life are all the ones who support the ICE agent who murdered Renee Nicole Good. Yeah. Point blank, period. W's in the chat for, I think it's pronounced Cheyenne. Holy fuck. W's in chat for Cheyenne for the $5 donation saying, from a fellow Washingtonian, keep up the great work. Thank you so much, Cheyenne. Holy fuck, I had a brain fart. W's in the chat for Elizabeth for the $2 donation saying, please ask a question. If women die in pregnancy, men have to go to jail because they're the ones who got the woman pregnant. Remember that question. I will. But you know what? They're not going to hold to it because, like, you know, they're scared to do anything when it comes to men. W's in the chat for Allison for the $25 donation saying, thank you for your labor and wisdom. The world needs you, especially now. And I can't imagine this comes with a heavy amount of emotional labor as well. Peace to you and thank you. Thank you so much, Allison. If I'm going to be honest, you guys make it more than worth it. So there's that. W's in the chat for Ella for the $1.99 super chat say, can't be murder when there's no birth certificate. Exactly. W's in the chat for Jen, who sent a $5 super chat say, Pats fan here rooting for your Panthers today. I fucking love you, Jen. Thank you so much. W's in the chat for Shizerpur. I don't know. Shizzy. I'm gonna just call you Shizzy for the $1.99 super chat to say, sir, you're lying about your age. Looking good. No. Almost 40. Debbie's in the chat for D Graham, who sent $1 super chat. Just some super chat. Just love. I appreciate you. Debbie's in the chat for Spooky for the $10 super chat to say anyone talking about the technology on TikTok lives is guaranteed to say something stupid. Yes. Debbie's in the chat for Joel. What up, Joel, for the $5? Keep pounding, which we will. Debbie's in the chat for Eugenia for the $75 Uruguay. Say, hey, Santana, it's been a while. I was on vacation. I hope it was nice. But always listening. Thank you for the dog walking another white man. Shushies from Uruguay. Absolutely. Debbie's in the chat for Jody for the $1.28. The $2 from Aussie say the whole world is watching what's happening and supporting you from afar. Let's take away everyone debating the logic of murder and whether it's self-defense or murder. Nobody should be dying at the hands of anyone, let alone our own government. That's the fucking point. Debbie's in the chat for Stephanie for the $5 donation saying, you're awesome. Thank you for all that you do. Stephanie, you're way more awesome. And guys, holy shit, John, thank you for the spaceship. But holy fucking shit balls, guys. W's in the chat for Megan. Oh, wait, hold on. Where is it? W's in the chat for Megan, who sent a $10 donation saying, thank you for defending our bodies and our rights. Absolutely. Where is it? Hold on. I just saw it. Where is it? Where's it? W's in the chat for Dragon for the $1 donation. I just saw it. How am I missing it? I just had it. Where did it go? Sorry, 1 second, guys. I saw it and then it disappeared. I want to make sure I give the right credit to the right person. Where the fuck did it go? Let's see here. Oh, there it is. Fucking W's in the chat for Stacy. Stacy said, for the most genuine advocate, first-time donor. Stacy sent $150 donation. Holy fucking shit, Stacy, you are fucking amazing. W's in the chat for Stacy. Holy shit, that is mind-blowing. That is insane, and I am not worthy. Like, what in the hell? Wow. Thank you, Stacy. I truly mean that, guys. I genuinely mean that I don't deserve the amount of kindness, love, and support that you guys show me. Like, what in the hell? W's in the chat for all the donors. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Christine, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something in the background?
If you want to see if the guy's meant for you, you go somewhere.
I don't think she meant to request up. Stephanie, hi. Are you a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background?
No, I voted for Ms. Harris, but I'm in Minnesota, and so I'm kind of in the mix of everything that's happening here. And so just wanted to say thank you for all your support for those in Minnesota and your advocacy.
Absolutely. Listen, stay safe, protect yourself. Hopefully everything around you will start to settle in. I think that it's important for you to use your voice. I think it's important for all of us to use our voice. But more than anything, protect yourself and, protect the people that you love and the people around you. Okay.
Thank you. Minnesota's a beautiful space, and we hope you all can come visit sometime.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That was in chat for Stephanie. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. Please, guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 200,000 likes. Also, if you don't mind, can we knock out the daily gift goal? It's a little hi bears, and drop me a follow. 2,000 people hanging out here. Make sure you hit that follow button. And if you're over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up for me, please. It'll help push out the VOD. There should be as many thumbs ups as there are people watching. So hit that thumbs up. Don, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
No, I had a late term abortion, and when you guys were talking about it, I always try to jump in and just like say a point, but that was before.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Guys, please only request up if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys, but please respect the boundaries. We definitely are looking for some debates. If you disagree with the fact that the Democrats, that they have to, this is not even a request. This is the mandate for any Democratic nominee that wants support in 2028. We're going to lock up everyone that's been doing the illegal shit with RNC. We're going to give free healthcare, universal healthcare to everyone. They will have healthcare. We're going to codify Roe versus Wade because I'm tired of the bullshit when it comes to women's rights. We are going to give out free college, and we will give reparations to non-white people. It's a mandate. It's not a request, it's a mandate. So if you are a Trump supporter or you actually disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. Take a look down at the bottom. If you see the pink and blue person, you're good. That means you're not in the request. But if you look at the bottom and you see the gray person, that means you are in the request, you're here, and you're ready to debate. Sam, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Okay, no worries. I'll drop you down. All right, we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm definitely not. Sports edits, you can get out of the request. We're not doing that. Let's see what this guy's about because, like, I mean, the name is already, but let's see what happens. Rage Beta, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Okay. People consciously make the decision to be weird every day, and I don't understand it. Yeah. He said, you're not a friendly. I know, but you're also a troll, and I refuse to let you up. I don't care about you being a friendly. You're a troll, and I refuse to let you up. Democratic Party. Would you say Democratic Party will be dismantled and abolished forever? Yeah, sure. Hey, Michael, guess what? I'm going to mute you because no one cares about what you're saying in the comments. But I will send you a request. Get in the box, Bubba. Listen. MAGA, Trump supporters, I don't give a shit about your comments from the comments. You don't. My chat is not your safe space. I know that you may think that you can go into other people's lives and just say and do whatever you want. But guess what? Not here, not going to do it. So you have to either nut up or shut up. I don't care which one. Literally don't care which one. Either nut up or shut up. Joseph said Santana fell off. Cool. Joseph, I'm going to go ahead and mute you. Come up here and tell me why you say that. Come up here and tell me about that, Bubba. I fell off. God damn. American citizens are under attack. Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree. Where are you going? It's funny how like they're always like so brave and bold in the comments, but they don't actually say it with their chest. Especially, I've said this a million times, right? The currency that we deal in today, right, is attention. Like that is the real currency that we all deal with today. It's attention. But for some reason, while giving them attention, they absolutely refuse to engage in that spotlight. It's weird. Hey, Joseph, thank you for coming up.
It'll kick me off.
Why?
Because it's against the TikTok algorithm.
It's not. It's not. The host can't be driving. It doesn't give a shit about the person that's up here. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? I saw you say that you that I fell off, in which that's interesting. But where do you stand ideology or with your ideology?
Well, man, I've been watching Dean and Parker and your lives for quite some time now, bro. I don't agree with a lot of things, but I also a lot of things on the left, and I also don't agree with a lot of things on the right. But I lean more towards the right. I do.
Okay, cool. Joseph, I got a couple of different things on the background, and this is what is going to drive the win for the Democratic Party in 2028. We're literally going to force all the good things on everyone. And I need to understand which one of these things can't you get behind, because like all of this is good shit for every single American. Help me understand, what do you think is a failing point?
Well, me personally, I feel like I done better under Trump's presidency the first term that he ran for I did way better financially wise. Not anything particular with on the screen. I don't see it happening, but like I said, I lean more to the right, but
Sure. I mean, that's fine. And
as
again,
far as
I'm
my
not pushing
support for
back on
Trump,
your I'm not pushing back on your premise as far as how you did under Trump's first administration. I'm not even saying why do you still support Trump today, because like I've already made a decision that people support Trump today are predators in one shape, form, or the other. Like, so I don't really care about debating that. Is there anything that you see on the background that you're like, I don't like that, and there's no way that that's a winning point? Because I think that going after all the people that's doing all the illegal shit within the RNC, like we have to do that. We have to give everyone universal health care. It's a mandate. We have to codify Roe versus Wade into law. We have to give people free college, and we have to give reparations to non-Black people. Like, all of those things are a mandate. And I think all of those things are a W. Or do you disagree with any of those?
I'm not real familiar with Roe versus Wade.
Roe versus Wade, women's right for abortion.
Yeah, I like you said earlier, I was listening to you. You know,
mandatory vasectomies, right?
No.
Why?
I think of things a little different.
Okay, wait, okay. So you heard my entire premise as far as mandatory vasectomies?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me why, after hearing my entire premise and the concept and my point with mandatory vasectomies, tell me specifically what can't you get behind with mandatory vasectomies?
I don't, nah. That shouldn't be just like the I think the other guy was saying, you know, it's women's choice on what they want to do with their body. I think it's the same in return.
Oh wait,
that's
okay.
why
So
I don't
wait,
that's why I don't like getting into abortion and all of that shit. I don't get into that.
Okay, wait. So you wouldn't advocate for a mandatory abortion ban then?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, so then you agree with codifying Roe versus Wade, right? Because the only thing that Roe did was give people access to abortions, right? They didn't mandate whether people could or could not do it. It just said that they had access to it, and it gave the federal level protection for people to be able to do it. And the premise that I have, right, is people think that the stance of pro-life is saying that you think that everyone should be able to get abortions. That's not pro-life. I'm sorry, pro-choice. People think pro-choice is that everyone gets to get abortions. That's not it. The premise of pro-choice is allowing people to make their own decisions about what works best for them. And if you and I can agree that people get to make their own decisions, what's best for them within the parameters of like their life and their doctors and stuff, then you're pro-life as well. I'm sorry, you're pro-choice as well.
Right. Yeah, I don't agree with getting an abortion just because, you know, you don't want it or anything like that. But like there is some financial stakes on certain people, you know, that they think they can't really afford for it. And that's where it's like a 50-50, you know, because it is a human figure. And so I don't, it's a 50-50 shot there, but yes, I see exactly what you're saying. Yes.
Right. But the point that I'm getting across is you wouldn't support like mandating it, right? You wouldn't support saying we can put this in law and women, even though I disagree with abortion, no woman can get an abortion.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So you're pro-choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, I was, in his first term, I was a diehard Trump fan, man. I loved everything about it. But after listening to y'all's debates and stuff, you know, I've really come to realization on, you know, especially of who it's up to, because it is a big toll to just take a life, you know. That's a big thing for me. You know, I'm a Christian guy myself. There are some what's the word I'm looking for? There are some decisions that I think need to be made, but they need to be made with
with the right mindset, you know?
Yeah, and so the problem that I have, right? Sorry, 1 second.
Good.
The problem that I have, and the harm that is quite often perpetuated on the right, is that women are just running around getting abortions for, you know, shits and giggles, or shiggles, as I
Yeah,
always
I
say.
don't agree with that at all.
Exactly. People are literally pretending as if women are doing this as a form of birth control when they're not, right? Because, like, if you even just look at the financial aspect of it, on average, typical abortions across the country cost about $600. No one's just throwing away $600 just because, you know, they're using this as birth control. So that premise doesn't even make sense. But then you can talk about the physical aspect that occurs with an abortion, now, let alone the mental aspect that occurs with an abortion. So it's all being propagandized, right? That, you know, this is just a thing and people are just doing it for fun or whatever. It's wild, and it's a concept that doesn't actually stand up. And so, like, people who make the decision to get an abortion, I don't think those decisions are made lightly. And this is me thinking about the whole, right? Not the individual, but the whole. People aren't just going to do it because, like, it's fun or whatever. People are going to do it, and they're going to understand the gravity of what that means as far as engaging in an abortion. And I just think that we should respect the people, specifically the women, with the decisions that they make. And then even more so, like, we don't put mandates on the men's body. So why are we sitting here trying to mandate the woman's body? That's the part that I struggle with as well.
Exactly, right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm more pro-choice, you know, because I don't think it should be where you can't get an abortion, you know, let's say for, you know, a one night stand and that was it, you know. There's got to be somewhere where you draw a line, you know. And I think that's, to me, I think if you go out and you're having fun at a party or whatever, and you decide to do something like that, then absolutely, I don't think you should be able to have access to an abortion because you chose to do that. You took it upon yourself. Now, for instance, if you get raped, or I don't know what all I'm allowed to say on here, but if something for that instance happens, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's a whole different story.
Let me ask you this, because I think this is an important symmetry breaker, right? So you're saying that people shouldn't have the ability to run out and get an abortion if they engage in, like, consensual sex for fun or whatever, or like a one night stand or whatever. You don't think they should be able to do that. But my question is, are you advocating to stop people from being able to do it?
I think what I'm trying to get across is people need to use their brain nowadays.
Right.
Because
and that's fine.
Of course, with sexual intercourse, you know, there's always that possible chance.
Right. And I agree. And because this is the point that I'm trying to get to, and this is the biggest point that I want people on the right to understand. Anyone that I talk to on the right. And the reason why I tell people all the time that morals are subjective is because the way that people view things, literally it's built off of multiple things, whether it's their faith, whether it's like the way that they were raised, whether it's like some type of code of justice or whatever, right? Those things come down to individual people, right? And so while people may have a individual preference as far as, like, I don't think people should do this, I don't think people should do that, that's fine. But when you start to say, since I don't think the people should do this, then I think that it should be mandated that they can't engage with it. I think we need to pass a law to put my morality on them. That's where the symmetry breaker is for me. So you can hold that premise that you don't think that people should be able to have access to abortions due to recreational sex or one night stands or whatever. I'm not going to knock you for that. The problem for me comes in when people start to say, like, well, since I don't believe this, then we should litigate that and make it, not accessible to other people. So if you're not crossing that line, we're good. But if we're crossing that line, then that's a different conversation.
Right. Okay. Okay. Another thing that I've seen. I know this is a complete pivot. If you're okay with that.
Sure.
Because I
Actually, can
wanted
I
to
say
talk
thank
to
you to a few people really quick then? Because it's a lot. I don't want to get too far behind. Can you give me like
go
2
ahead,
minutes?
brother.
Perfect. W's in the chat for Heather for the $1 donation. And I'll be 40 on March the 29th, and people don't believe me and say that I'm 28. LOL. Also, you look younger than you are. Love you, Santana. Love you more. You know, they say black don't crack unless you do it. W's in the chat for Sarah for the $5 donations. And this is why Trumpsters are so obsessed with gay people. They want men to have sex all they want, but women to keep their legs closed. Yeah, thank you for the 5, Sarah. And I agree, like the actual contradiction is wild. It doesn't make sense. W's in the chat for Benjamin for the $5 donation saying the aim seems not to understand, but to win a curious goal when the subject is human suffering. Yeah, I think that was for the other person. W's in the chat for Jeezy, who sent a $2 donation saying, have you ever considered going live on Facebook? I had that conversation with management and she was like, don't do Facebook. I feel like there are a ton of ignorant boomers and a ton of misinformation and propaganda as it is. Also, the name is pronounced Jesse. Okay, Jesse. But the G instead. Got it. Thanks for what you're doing from a fellow Washingtonian. Thank you so much, Jesse. I appreciate you so much. W's in the chat for I have no idea how to say this. Elite. I can't say that word. Elite 3 or the Elite Pew Pewer, I guess, whatever. Stay awesome. Kick these slapnut MAGAs has in the debate. And when it comes to football, brother, boo your Panthers, go Niners. Also, Drew McIntyre is the champion on your thoughts. I saw that, but I didn't get to see the match. I hadn't gotten a chance to follow up on that. but I like Drew. Drew McIntyre has a look. He can cut the promos. Like, he's an amazing wrestler. So I'm not against it. W's in chat for John for the $5 donation saying, glad to have football today. Get a little bit of an escape from all the stuff that's going on. Yeah, same as here. I'm going to actually order like pizza in about 30 minutes because I will be having pizza and chips, and I'll be sitting here watching my Carolina Panthers at 1:30 my time, 4:30 Eastern. Super excited. W's in chat for Ashley for the $10 donation saying, listening to you, Dean Parker, has made me more hopeful about our society. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for being fucking amazing. And I'm glad that we can give you a little bit of hope. Hopefully, you know, this hope will somehow resonate and we can get change. That's more beneficial. W's in the chat for Brittany for the $5 donation saying, this would be a good time for my 18-year-old to request up. Yeah, Brittany, tell your 18-year-old to request up for sure. For sure. Just reply to the comment on the actual donation and tell me what the name is. W's in the chat for Jacob for the $10 donation saying, coming from a pro-lifer person, you've opened my eyes to the topic of abortion. I might not agree with you, but it's a woman's right to do with her body what she wants. We don't want vasectomies pushed on us, so why should they want that? Thank you for showing me this, Jacob. Fucking W's in the chat for you, Jacob. Seriously, W's in the chat for you. And again, like, that's the only premise that I'm trying to get across. Like, we need to understand that the duality of thinking that for some reason we should regulate women without regulating men, that's weird. That's just weird. But W's in the chat for you, Jacob. W's in the chat for Ren for the $2 donation saying, I got an abortion because a man threatened me if I didn't. What do you want? What do men want? Your cake to eat it too. STFU if you don't have a uterus, period. Yes, I said it. You can read it out loud. I got you. And follow up with another $2 donation. And follow up, this man, this was the man I was in a 5-year relationship with. I didn't want it, but now 10 years later, I'm glad that I did. It was a horrible situation. I'm sorry to hear that. Like, there should be no situation where people have that forced on them. That's just like fucked. W's in the chat for tip for the $5 donations. And so happy not to be one of those mediocre, insecure white men. I think it's scary to think I could have been. I try hard to work every day to learn and improve and fight for the rights and love what you do, brother. I love you too, Tip. And follow up with a $5 donation saying, advocating for banning abortion specifically for one night stand. It's weird. Why do you want to punish women so bad and force them into solo parenting? Is such a weird take. Yeah, I think we got him to agree that he wouldn't push that on other people. So we're good. W's in chat for Valerie for the $10 donation, saying, I hope you have a great day and go Panthers. Go Panthers. W's in the chat for Jared. Hey, Jared, for the $2 donation, saying, afternoon, Santana. Just got home from eating Chinese hot pot. I fucking love hot pot. For the first time. Live is perfect way to round out the day, and go Panthers. Keep fucking pounding. W's in the chat for Gio, who's sending $10 super chat to say thank you for everything that you do, and I will continue to support you. You're fucking awesome. And W's in the chat for Laugh Out Leslie, who's sending $10 super chat to say, fun fact, unless you have a unless you have to be connected, unless you have connected to be an organ donor, even if it were to save a life, you cannot legally take an organ from a dead body. Women should have more rights than dead bodies. Yeah, I get the premise of what you're trying to say, Laugh Out Leslie. Women should absolutely have the ability to make decisions about their bodies when cadavers, can like say no. Whew, sorry guys, that was a lot. I apologize. W's in the chat for all the donuts. Anyone wants to like support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted, anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Joseph, thank you so much for being patient. I apologize. I didn't want to get too far behind. The floor is yours.
Anyway, so I want to touch back because I was thinking at it the complete wrong way, you know, so I was looking at it the complete wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
If you go out to a party, okay, and you have sexual intercourse with someone,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can see where it would be okay. I could see where it would be okay.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm trying to think of how I would say it. What I was getting to, my point. I done lost my train of thought. I was thinking of the next topic I was getting on.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can move to the next topic if you want.
Okay. So my next topic is, and I may agree with the left on this.
Mm-hmm.
The border was, in my opinion, the border was a lot better up under Trump's first term.
Mm-hmm.
Because and it may be the news that I've watched, it may be, but I've heard a lot of like I said, y'all's you and Dean and Parker, I've watched a couple of their lives, and I've been watching your lives. The by what I've seen, the border was worse under Biden.
Okay.
In my and by what I've seen online.
Okay.
Now, with that being said,
mm-hmm.
Is there less crossings as of now as there was in Biden's term, or?
Yes, there is absolutely a decrease in border crossings versus when Joseph Robinette Biden was in office. Now, the thing that you want
is that because of the deportation?
No, well, kinda, right, and that's exactly where I was just about to go. The question isn't is there more or less crossings? The question would be why, right? That's something that you want to dig into. Question for you. Do you know if the Trump administration has passed any type of legislation that has decreased border crossings?
I do not.
Okay. Do you know of anything that they have done that actually would affect border crossings?
I do not off the top of my head, no. Okay. I haven't dug really deep into it. That's just what I've seen over, like I said, off of the news channels and stuff. You know, I've seen where they had the barbed wire down south by like Eagle Pass and all of that, where they had the sky tracks and all of that.
Yeah. And which, I mean, like I get you. I think that understanding like what was done is super important, and so like I get what you're saying there. I guess the easiest way to put this, right, is in order for Donald Trump to do something that would actually make a impact that would just directly drive down the number of border crossings, he would have had to do something that would cause it. And he hasn't done anything directly that has caused border crossings to be down. But you know what he has done?
What's that?
Engaged in human rights violations. Literally,
Yeah,
the reason why it's down is it's not because the border crossings and he's passed legislation or did anything. Donald Trump has literally violated the human rights and the constitutional rights of not only undocumented immigrants but American citizens, so much so that the United States has now been placed on a human rights watch list, and different governments are telling we're on a human rights watch list. And different governments are telling their citizens do not travel into the United States of America. What they're doing is overwhelmingly harming the country. And so much so we can see that directly reflected in things like our tourism industry. Last year in 2025, Las Vegas lost over $85 billion in tourism because of what Donald Trump was doing to undocumented immigrants, right? And all the major cities that generate a lot of revenue from tourism all took hits as well, because less people were coming into the country, including Canadians, Canadians partake in massive parts of the tourism sector within the United States, but they literally weren't coming here because of not only what's happening to undocumented immigrants, but also because of the tariff policy of Donald Trump. So Donald Trump, yes, while the actual border crossings are down, it's because of the cruelty that he's engaged in, and it's hurt our country in multiple ways.
Right. Yeah, because I see online, that which is I don't do a whole bunch of research, but this is like from what I see, and I would be willing to be educated on it.
Mm-hmm.
But deporting people that don't have a criminal history,
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with just getting rid of them, just deporting them. That's not.
Oh, got to come back in the app. He might have gotten a call. W's in the chat for Amy for the $5 donation, saying, been singing your intro since the live started, and now I have my 10-year-old boy singing it too. I know that's fucking right. LOL, love it and love you too. Go Bills. I know that's right, Amy. W's in the chat. Thank you so much for that $5. You're fucking awesome. You did for a second. You cut out. Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had a phone call from work. But I don't agree with deporting people who don't have a criminal history.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have a family to feed too.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, they have a family to feed.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with doing the way that it's being done.
I think the bigger thing that you should actually look into is not whether or not Donald Trump is deporting the right people or not, but look into why Donald Trump's numbers as far as deportation is lower than both Joseph Robinette Biden and also Barack Obama. Think about this for a second. Donald Trump ran on the position of mass deportation, right? He ran on that. He increased the budget for ICE to the 14th largest level if you stack it up against military budgets in the world. He allocated over 20% of all federal law enforcement agencies to support ICE, but yet for some reason he's still deporting ICE at a lower rate than all of them. Would you like to know why?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Would you like to know why?
Yeah.
Because he's not deporting them. He's literally using ICE to round up undocumented immigrants and using them for free slave labor while placing them in concentration camps.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah. In order to fulfill a deportation, you have to send the people back to the country that they came from, right?
Right.
Donald Trump is utilizing the undocumented immigrants, keeping them in the United States private prison system for longer periods of time, for months, instead of giving them their trials and then deporting them. And so it's 2, 3, 4, 6 months of them being in these either prison systems or Alligator, Alcatraz, all these places. And then once they actually finally see the judge and they're saying hey, you should be deported, instead of him sending them back to their home country for deportation, he's sending them to places like El Salvador, to CICOT. He's sending them to African countries. He's selling them into slave labor in those other countries. So that doesn't count as a deportation. And even more so, he's sending people back to countries where they didn't even come from.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a problem.
Yes, sir.
And someone said, where can you find this information? Like literally it's easily, you can easily find it. I'll pull it up. But one of the interesting things, did you hear the actual 60-minute story that got pulled about CCOT?
I did not.
Okay, so 60 Minutes was getting ready to run a story about what I was just telling you about, right? With the actual immigrants being deported to CCOT for countries that they shouldn't be deported to. And the head of, I think CBS now is like a Trump supporter, like a massive Trump supporter. And so since they're a massive Trump supporter, they've given Donald Trump a direct line where he can actually veto any stories that are coming out that he doesn't like. So an hour before the 60-minute story was about to break, he reached out and said, do not play the story about my deportations to CCOT. And so they pulled the 60 Minutes episode like an hour before it was supposed to air. But that was only here in the US. It still aired in other countries, including Canada, in which people uploaded it after it played in Canada to like YouTube. And so people were able to get all the information and see all this other stuff. But yes, Donald Trump is actively doing this and trying to silence anyone who wants to talk about it.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, I for sure need to do some more research. Like I said, I'm not just a diehard MAGA. I lean more to more to the right, but not a diehard MAGA. I need to do some more research for sure, and I'll for sure put all of this into play whenever it comes to voting. You know, but until I do my research, you know, I can't tell you. Yes, I'm a left supporter. I'm a right supporter. I can't really, you know. So
well, I'll leave you with this, right? Because it's not necessarily about saying that I support the left or I support the right. I think the big thing that I want to get people across and understanding is like American rights are what we're talking about. We can debate like government spending, we can debate taxes, we can debate like all of these other things, but we shouldn't be debating human rights, whether people should have access to human rights. We shouldn't be debating whether our government should be doing beneficial things for all Americans. We shouldn't debate whether or not like a woman getting shot in the face 3 times in broad daylight is murder. Like all of these things are weird to me, and it should be like nonpartisan issues. Like, why are we debating whether or not the Epstein list needs to be released? Like, these should be things that all Americans can just get behind and say like, yep, we need to do this, or nope, this is fucked up. So it's not about, you know, left or right at this point anymore. It's about like what things are going to be beneficial to all Americans. And that's what we have to focus on, is benefiting all Americans, not some.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
All right. All right.
I sure do appreciate you having me up, Santana. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Guys, holy fuck. W's in the chat. Holy fuck. W's in the chat for, I think it's Architect Vixen for the $50 donation. Holy shit. Thank you so much for the $50 donation, saying thank you for all that you do. Love you. I love you way more. You're so fucking awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Holy shit. You guys have been way too kind today. It's insane. Like, seriously, I truly mean that. You guys are, yeah. Debbie's in the chat for Brittany. I'm sorry, not Brittany. Brandy for the $1 donation, saying important differentiation that I love to use. You can be pro-choice without being pro-abortion. I think more people would be more pro-choice if they truly understood the difference. You can support freedom of choice without supporting the choice itself. Exactly. And that's the only thing that we need people to understand. That's the only point that we need to get across. You can disagree with it as long as you're not sitting here trying to force your disagreement onto other people. That's when I have the problem. W's in the chat for Amanda for the $5 donation. I appreciate you not talking about the main headline right now. I haven't been able to listen to other people for the last couple of days. I can't handle hearing these horrible people. Love you. Holy fuck, Sarah. Holy shit. W's in this chat for Sarah. That was fucking wild. That was so fucking cool. Thank you so much. Holy shit, that was cool. Thank you so much. That was so cool. Thank you so much. Holy shit. Wow. I've never gotten anything like that. That's wild. I will say this to Amanda's comment. The reason why I haven't been engaging in the premise as far as like what happened in Minnesota, and like I see people breaking down like frame by frame and whether or not the ICE agent's life was in jeopardy, and whether she should have done this or shouldn't have done that, whether he shouldn't have done this or shouldn't have done that. And there's a couple of things that go through my mind, right? I watched the video one time and that was one time enough for me, right? I saw it and I was like, yeah, that's murder. That point blank period. I also saw it and I made a video about it. It's on my main page. And I said this, and I literally said at the beginning of the video, this is something that a lot of people aren't going to like, but they need to hear it. And when I said this, I was talking to anyone that wasn't Black. If I'm going to be 100% honest, I was literally talking to anyone that wasn't Black, because Black people get this. I said that nothing was going to change. What happened in Minnesota isn't going to directly change anything. And it's not because the people on the left don't want it to change, not because the people on the left aren't demanding for justice. It's not because people on the left don't want accountability. It's because the people on the right continue to run coverage for shit like this. And so while people on the right continue to run coverage for people who, after there is a mass shooting, right? And you see people die in a movie theaters or in a nightclub, or you see politicians get shot. Thank you for the let's be friends. Or even you see children losing their lives in school. But yet for some reason, people are still willing to say, well, my gun rights. Well, what were they doing? Well, they shouldn't have been in this situation. They shouldn't have been in that situation. As long as people continue to run coverage and justify the things that are happening, then nothing's going to change. We need the people on the right to finally start saying, hey, maybe people shouldn't get shot in the face in broad daylight. Maybe that's bad to see someone get the back of their neck nailed on for 9 minutes and then they die. Maybe people shouldn't just, be killed by cops. Until we can get the right to actually start saying that, then we'll never have anything change. We can get them crying over Charlie Kirk. Like we can get them freaking out over Charlie Kirk because it's someone they support. But until we can get them to support that type of violence or things happening on no matter what their political affiliation is, things aren't going to change. Also, I made the point, and I'm just going to keep it being with you, chat. You guys know how I do. A white lady, blonde hair, blue eye, got shot in the face 3 times. And people are talking about the way that she turned her tires. Thank you for the media shower, Sarah. Thank you so much for the media shower. A blonde lady, white lady, blonde hair, blue eyes, got shot in the face 3 times, and they're debating the way that she turned her tires. Chat, we are fucking cooked. We are fucking cooked because if these people don't give a damn about this white lady with the blonde hair and blue eyes, they damn sure don't give a damn about my Black ass. Who do they care about if they don't even care anymore about the white lady with the blonde hair and the blue eyes? Like, what the fuck are we doing? So I'm gonna just keep it a bean with you. You guys know how I do. Debbie's in the chat for a tip for the $5 donation, saying we need to acknowledge that not only does Trump's Trump border plan cause massive human rights violation, but it also doesn't solve the real problem. It pushes it down the road to the next president. We need legislation to improve legal options. Exactly, that's the point. Debbie's in the chat for Misty for the $5 donation, saying thank you for doing this important work. Misty, thank you so much for the 5. You're fucking awesome. Debbie's in the chat for Sean, who sent a $10 super chat to say, dear other white folks, denying and bickering about white privilege really doesn't build your case. It only makes you look more ignorant and using white privilege. Duh. Yeah, I agree. And again, if I could, I'm telling you, with Black people, if we could trade reparations for white privilege, we would take it all day, every day, twice on Sunday. All day, every day, twice on Sunday. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links, and Linktree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. Everything's accepted. Anything's appreciated. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out, guys. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or you disagree with something on the background. We are only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live. Make sure you hit that follow button. If you look up at the top, you see the word follow. Then you're not following me. Hit that follow button. Hi, I know this is Brittany's son. What's your name?
Yes, your name.
Daniel.
Daniel. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Daniel. So your mom said that you have kind of some incel-y ideas that you are leaning into. Tell me a little bit more about yourself. What's on your mind? What do you think about the political climate and how things are going within our country?
I don't like any of it, man, to be honest.
Yeah? What do you mean?
I feel like for the past, which I'm gonna say this first. I'm not super educated when it comes to this stuff.
It's all good.
I have an opinion, and I feel like these past few years, maybe 6 or so years, our country's been really going downhill. And yeah, it's been really, I just don't like any of it. Left, right. I mean, I would say I lean more towards the right, but any of it, I feel like our country's falling apart, man. And that's just my opinion.
Can you be specific when you say falling apart? Like, what do you specifically mean?
Like just the community has problems, the justice system, the government. When we go into the community, we're all like batting heads and like arguing and, nonstop, cannot get along. And that's not how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be unity, and we're supposed to be, a whole, but we don't. We fight and fight and fight, and we're all divided, which I find an issue. But some people, I guess, would think it's okay to be divided. I think we should all, maybe not all look eye to eye, but get along.
Okay.
And then you go to the justice system. I mean, I don't really even gotta, like, it's horrible. I mean, I don't really gotta say nothing. It's been horrible for a while now. I mean, that's not just recently. It's our justice system is very, very corrupt, same as the government. So that's how I feel.
agree. I'm sorry. Give me your name one more time. I forgot. I'm horrible with names.
Daniel. Please.
Daniel. Got it. Daniel. Daniel, what's important to you? Like, I hear you talking about like where we are as a society, how split we are, the justice system and like community and things like that. But like, what is actually important to you? Because you're 18, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's important to you today? And what do you think will be important to you within like the next 10 years?
Well, I feel like there's some things that could be important to me today and in 10 years. Which would be like, I mean, going out in certain areas of this country and feeling safe at night, feeling safe by yourself, feeling safe, like in general, feeling okay to say your opinion and how you speak. Nice dragon head.
Thank you.
Feeling like it's safe to say what you feel and not be assaulted and
What do you mean by that one?
What do you mean?
Being able to say what you feel without being assaulted. What do you mean?
I feel like with the state of our country right now, you are liable to get into an altercation if you don't like. If you say, like, if somebody really disagrees with what you say, you're probably going to get hit. I mean, I've seen time and time again and this is, once again, I'm not going to say I believe everything I say I'm not going to believe everything I see on social media, but I've seen time and time again, people get hit, kicked because they have a different political view than this other party.
So let me speak on that just for a half a second. And I think, Daniel, this is a very, very, very important life lesson that I want to share with you, because I think it's something that a lot of people don't really get, right? And Daniel, just a little bit more about myself. All right, I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm Black. So I always lead with the fact that I'm Black. But I'm also 38, right? And I have lived a life, right? Multiple experiences from where I came from to where I am, and the different things that I've been exposed to, education, people, like all this other stuff. And the one thing that I've learned is freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences, right?
Right.
And
well,
so
you can't go right.
while I think people have the absolute right to be able to say whatever they want to say, I know for a fact that you cannot control the way that people respond to the things that you say. And so I've never been an advocate for violence. I'm not advocating for violence in any way, shape, or form. But I do think that a lot of people have gotten way too comfortable with not getting punched in the mouth. And
I agree with you.
And yeah, because like I think when we have situations where there are people literally dressing up as Nazis and walking down the street and antagonizing people, they're too comfortable with like not counting their teeth. And so while I say like no one should be violently assaulted for their political ideology or things that they believe or whatever, I do think that we live in a world where like attention has become currency, and people do things for shock and outrage, and people think that they can just say or do anything harmful or negative. I think if I'm going to be real with you, Daniel, like the internet got people fucked up. And like the internet has people thinking that the internet is real life, and when they try to do the internet stuff in real life, then they get smacked in the mouth. And like that's just how it happens sometimes.
And I appreciate that, and I appreciate that that's still happening, because that keeps people in check. But that's not what I mean. I mean just like having like not in these extreme cases, like maybe like how you're putting it, maybe, but like in like a normal sense, maybe like you're just debating / arguing whatever you want to say with somebody, and it gets too heated or whatever. You don't even like insult them. You're not being too provocative, with what you're saying. You're just having a debate, and they just feel the need to hit you or assault you. And I feel like this is not too uncommon. And even just being like in America at all, not even debating people, there's crazy MFs around here, dude, and that are gonna go around hitting people and hitting. Like,
can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
You're 18. So, well, you might not be able to really answer this question. This might be something that you want to lean on your mom with for the answer to this. But so I'm from South Carolina, right? And I remember a time back in like 2015, 2014, 2013, where people didn't necessarily talk about their political ideology. Like people didn't openly say, I'm a Republican, I voted for Trump, or I'm a Democrat, I voted for Kamala. Like people didn't do that, right? But there was something that happened in 2016 that kind of shifted our political landscape. Do you know what that was?
No, sir.
Donald Trump.
Donald
Trump injected himself into the political landscape, and it started with other Republicans, right? Saying that, calling people, little Marco Rubio, lying Ted Cruz, and he attacked the other Republicans that were literally on the stage with him running for the Republican nomination, right? And then he attacked people on the left, right? With like Elizabeth Warren, calling her Pocahontas, which is derogatory, calling Bernie Sanders a communist when he's not, calling Joe Biden like Sleepy Joe and all this other stuff. Like those whole, thank you, Mika, for the cake. The premise that he injected, that level of rhetoric into politics was something that was unseen. But then it took a step further. Something that Donald Trump started doing in his rallies is saying, like, hey, punch him in the mouth and I'll pay for you to get bailed out. Like Donald Trump started advocating for violence at his political rallies and saying that he would protect those people that actually engaged in any type of violence in his name, right? So the point that I'm trying to get across is that the temperament of like debate or political differences or things like that, it really took a change 10 years ago or a little bit before 10 years ago. And you can draw a direct line from Donald Trump in the way that he mocked people with disabilities, the way that he openly call women pigs, the way that he was actively racist, and like no one on the right held him accountable. They just accepted it. People just accepted it because he was a billionaire and he was a a celebrity and he was real and all this other stuff. People just accepted all of these things. And once people start to accept harmful things, that becomes our baseline. And so, Daniel, I guess the point that I'm trying to get across is if you want to see a shift back in any type of normalcy, any type of civility, any type of decency when it comes to our country, our society, then it has to start with you, right? You have to exemplify it. And not only do you have to exemplify it, but you have to support people that uphold a certain level of respectability, civility, and also peace. And so there's where the problem lies.
Yeah, man. Respect is I feel like, a lot of people lost their sense of respect. And a lot of people just like, there's just so many layers to our society. Like there's people that just grew up in these areas that just aren't really friendly, that really rough areas. And some people grew up in really nice areas and they came from different backgrounds, but that doesn't really give you the excuse to act out violently. Yes, you may have issues, but you can work on those and not, portray them onto the people around you and the society around you, and I feel like just too many people are just comfortable, like doing whatever they want to do, just being super wild and feeling like they can get away with whatever in today's society. Whereas like 10 or 10 years ago, like consequences were real. And yeah, there may have been there was problems back 10 years ago. I'm not gonna say it was perfect world back then, but I'm just saying it's getting worse and worse and worse in my eyes, and I just don't see
Give me 2 seconds here, Daniel. Chat, just an FYI, this is Daniel. Daniel is on his mother's account, Brittany. Brittany is a member of our community. So 1, remain respectful, period. Remain respectful. 2, keep it respectful in the chat. This is a situation where Daniel doesn't necessarily lean into the ideas that we have, but this is a learning experience, and this is an ability to not only engage with an 18-year-old, but hopefully change someone's mind. So make sure that in the chat, you guys aren't doing anything that wouldn't represent the things that I stand for. Keep it in line or get checked. And my mods will check you. Please and thank you. Man. All right. Daniel, question for you.
Yes,
right?
sir.
You're white, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're a man.
Yep.
Okay. Are you a part of the queer community at all?
No, man. I have some friends, but I wouldn't say like, unless like you said, I wouldn't. So this is kind of a weird subject for me.
Yeah.
So I am straight as a pole, right? But I have friends, and I guess you could say I support them, right?
That's fine. I'm just talking about you. We don't want to get to your friends, but just you. Are you part of the queer community?
I support them in a way.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Do you have a disability?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all right. So Daniel, you are a straight white man in America. Are you a Christian?
No, not really.
Okay, all right. You're a straight white man in America without a disability. You are not part of the queer community. You are the least disenfranchised person in our country, in our society, right? And I think the point that you want to understand is, and this is a heavy topic, and this is something that I'm not going to be able to explain to you in like, moments or whatever, but I definitely recommend that you go back and, read up on it. It's something I'm going to be doing on my late night series, Late Nights with Santana, but intersectionality. Understanding where you sit on the patriarchal system and the fact that you are a straight white man in America without any type of disabilities gives you the highest level of proximity to power, right? And with that being said, you will never understand the marginalization of others, right? You can't understand what it's like to be marginalized because you're Black. You can't understand what it's like to be marginalized because you're a woman. You can't understand what it's like to be marginalized because you have a disability.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that you can't empathize with these people. And the point that I'm trying to get across is like when people with these groups that are disenfranchised, these different minority groups that are disenfranchised, and they're actively being harmed by people, right? And not just this administration, but legislation that's being passed, people and the rhetoric that they're spewing. These people are actively being harmed, and so when people are actively being harmed, it can create a visceral reaction where people are tired of being oppressed and tired of being persecuted and tired of having rights stripped away and freedom stripped away and things like that. And so when people start to lash out because you're stripping away who they are as like individuals, then you're going to see this type of reaction that's occurring within our nation. And the only way that we can really address that is try to create a nation that is equal for all and don't disenfranchise people.
Exactly.
So like you're saying that like people, like you have to try to understand why people are getting so upset and why people are literally fighting back. It's because we've been pushed to that point where we have to fight.
Right. It's like cornering an animal, right? Like, I mean, in a way, like you keep, like, if it's like, oh, well, I can't escape, and I'm trying, and then it has no other option but to turn around, no other way out but to fight back, and I'm guessing you're talking about, maybe the race aspect of things and gender aspect of things when you're talking about this.
All of it.
And yeah,
all
I would
of
agree.
it. I'm not, specifically talking about like racism, because racism is a thing.
Right.
But like, so I'll give you this one for free. The most disenfranchised person in our country would be a Black transgender woman with a disability, right? Because of intersectionality. And understanding the different levels of intersectionality helps you understand the level of things that people have to deal with on like a day-to-day in and out level, right? Because you and I can both be poor, Daniel, but there's a difference between you being poor and you're white and me being poor when I'm Black. Like literally there's studies that shows like people that are unhoused, how disproportionately white people that are unhoused have more access and privilege and ability to get to resources than Black people that are unhoused. Right. So even when you talk about like our country and how things work, the different levels within intersectionality can dramatically change how things are occurring. And so again, getting back to the main point, and I know you use the example of like a cornered animal, and that may have like landed wrong for a lot of people. The point that I want you to, no, it's okay.
I'm so sorry if that.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I don't want you to focus on it. I don't want you to focus on it. No. Stay right here with me. The point that I want you to keep in mind is that when you start to strip away rights for humans, for people, then you start to strip away what makes people willing to participate in society without using force. Right. I mean, when you start to take from others and you take their ability to just live as people, then why do they have any incentive to live in society?
Right. Yeah. So there's been like this prejudice, or like there's been this favoritism for straight white men, and that's for sure, and oppression against Black and certain races in this country. And I agree completely, and it's wrong, especially, and women. And I feel like there's a better way of going about giving y'all your rights back and making things back to equal, because look where our country's at, man. I feel like something's wrong. There's something really pivotally wrong. This whole country's been built.
What do you think is actually wrong?
Well, there's like, the government is like super secure, layered, like it's been hundreds of years, like secure, built around corruption. So like there's some heart of corruption, I'm sure of it, at the middle of all of it, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not really that educated.
Question for you, because the one thing that a lot of people tend to miss, and I'm really trying to drive home this point of intersectionality, and I'm not focusing on Black people because it's easy to focus specifically on Black people.
Right.
I want to look at the whole, or actually, let me start here. When the Constitution was written, when our country was founded, who was given rights within our Constitution?
Men?
No.
White men?
No.
Rich white men?
Rich white men that own land. Yes. When the United States Constitution was first written, only white men that own land were given rights, and everyone past that had to be given rights, right? So the original,
question.
yeah,
Girls or women weren't allowed to own land, right?
No.
At that point in time.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Women. The crazy thing is, right? Your grandmother. Your grandmother might have been alive before and during a time where women couldn't even have their own bank accounts. Like, you know, that's more of a recent thing than anything, where women were allowed to actually get their own bank accounts.
Yeah, that's another horrible thing, man. That's bad. Yeah.
It's not so far removed. The point that I'm trying to get across is, like, when it comes to what this country was founded on, it was literally founded on racism, sexism, classism, right?
Yeah.
The points that if you were not a rich white man, then you were less than. Everyone else had to be given those rights. And since we live in a society where everyone had to be given those rights, it's been a consistent and persistent fight for rights. And until we get to the point where, Daniel, specifically you, until we get to the point where you are the person saying everyone should be able to have the rights that I have, then no one is going to be able to get to the point of peace, right? Because, Daniel, you have something that I don't have. While you are a 18-year-old man, and I'm a 38-year-old man, and I've lived life longer than you, and I'm sure I have more experiences in all this and blah, 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 blah. The one thing that I will have, the one thing that you have that I will never have, that hell, your mom doesn't even have, is the privilege and protection of being a white man, right? And so it's going to take people like you standing up and saying, if you don't like what's happening, then you have to stand up and directly use your protection to advocate for the people that are less than. I say this all the time. The fact that I have, the privilege of being a man, it is my responsibility to amplify and advocate for women. Since I have the privilege of being able-bodied, it is my responsibility and obligation to amplify the voices and protect the people within, with disabilities. Since I'm, straight, it is I have to advocate for people within the queer community. We have to use our privilege as a shield to protect those people that are more marginalized than ourselves and amplify their voices. That's the point.
Yeah, I have a power that they don't have. Yeah, I understand. I agree with you there. Yeah.
So the point being, right, if you want that change, then you have to actually be the change that drives it. And even more so, the harmful thing is, while you may think that like things on the political spectrum can be, left or right or things like that. The one thing that I'll give you, because you said you lean more right.
Yes, sir.
Why? Like, what about the right?
I don't really know. Like I said, I'm not. So my mom may have went over this with you, but I'm not really. I don't have any hard stances or hard. I'm all the way red or I'm blue or white, right, left. But I feel like I grew up in a manner that shaped my mind to lean more right, and I see more right-minded things on my like For You page and just stuff like that. So I feel like I would lean more right, but I'm not. I'm kind of just a neutral, floating around, trying to understand where I should stand.
Well, let me tell you something, Daniel. So the way that I have made sure that you understand your privilege, the people on the right understand your privilege as well, right? The people that are fine-tuning your algorithm and ensuring that they get Republicans on, like the Joe Rogan podcast or Theo Vaughn or Aiden Ross or people like that, they understand that specifically the patriarchal system and the access that young white men have And even more so, they have been preaching a message saying that like young white men are somehow disenfranchised and people don't care about them because they're not talking about young white men. But that's not the case. They're literally trying to weaponize you because they understand that if you, Daniel, as a young white man, makes a decision that everyone should have the same as you, then you topple the entire system. So the point that I'm trying to get across is if you actually care about people, like that's the one thing. Politics can be messy. Politics can be hard. Legislation can be complicated. Bills are, ridiculous. But the one thing that is simple is, do you care about people or not? Right? Because if you care about people, then there's no way that you can say that you align yourself with someone who is willing to take away food from not only 42 million Americans, but would rather burn millions of dollars worth of food. Literally, the Trump administration burned millions of dollars worth of food instead of giving it away to people within our country that are unhoused. If you say that you care about—
when did this happen? Do you mind?
Yeah, after the funding was cut for U.S. aid, there's food that's purchased by the United States of America that was supposed to be distributed international to these other countries that we had allyships with. And instead of the Trump administration actually shipping the food, they said, no, we're not going to ship the food. And instead of distributing the food to the United States citizens, they just burned it.
Just because they didn't want to, like they weren't agreeing.
They weren't going to send it to other countries, and they didn't care enough to give it to Americans.
Yep, that sounds about right. Yeah, man, I'll be the first to say it. Even though like I would lean more right wing, Trump, the whole Trump administration, Trump, all that's corrupt as shit. I know it. His first term, I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. Like he's making a name for himself, I guess. I was kind of young then, so I wasn't really into it, but like I'm like, ooh, this president's cool, kind of thing. And then
I mean, it's the appeal of like, the celebrity and all this stuff. Donald Trump is a populist candidate. He's someone who is a cult of personality who has been able to capture the hearts and minds of a bunch of people, right? And not just young white men. Yes, young white men, but the hearts and minds of a bunch of people, right? I mean, that's why like I have this debate. That's why there's over 2,000 people actually combined, like almost 2,500 people sitting here listening to us speak right now, is because there's people who are willing to come up here and not only defend Donald Trump as if, he is personally them, but they're here to parrot like the things that he says and does and all this other stuff. But the point that I'm trying to get across, is if you align yourself with actually caring about people, then you can't align yourself with the right, because they're willing to harm Americans. They're willing to harm people for their actual gains. They're willing to do things that put everyday people in jeopardy, whether we talk about food, whether we talk about healthcare, right? I mean, they passed a piece of legislation that not only eliminate access to Medicaid for Americans, but they also refuse subsidies that's going to kick another 7 million Americans off of their health insurance while making health insurance more expensive for everyone, while also getting kickbacks from those health insurers and payouts from the stocks that they have. Like, you can't say that you align or you actually care about people if you align with the right, because this iteration of the right, they don't care about people.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. No, it's fucked up or messed up, man. It's pretty messed up. And it's all pretty bad. But like, I just feel like I wouldn't be able to align with the left. I don't really know, because I'm trying to see where I stand.
What is it about the left that you've seen that you're like, yeah, I don't fuck with that?
I don't know, man. It's just like,
just say it. It's fine. We're here. You and I are like, we're here.
I
Just
really can't
say
come up
it,
with
whatever you feel.
how I feel about it. Like, it's just not my style or like my vibe. I don't know. It's like, it seems like they're just a mindset that I don't have. It's just, I don't know, but I haven't really.
What do you think
I haven't
about
seen it from the left perspective?
What do you think about abortion? You think people should be able to access abortion?
I feel like in some cases, in a lot of cases, yeah.
What do you mean?
Most cases.
But are you saying there's some cases you think people shouldn't be able to access abortions?
I feel like if I don't know, man. I feel like, yeah, if it's late into the pregnancy and you were irresponsible and you're financially stable or wealthy or whatever you want to say, and you tear that child out of you or whatever you want to say, you abort this child, I feel like that's kind of messed up. But in most cases, if someone doesn't want a child, there's no reason to make them have that child. That child's going to have a horrible life, but maybe like put it up for adoption or, well, I don't know. That's also horrible. I don't know, but.
So let me do this, Daniel, and I'm gonna open up a vein for you, right? Because I'm being super genuine when having this conversation with you, and I want to like deal with the reality. And so I don't normally talk personally about myself, right? But I do think that it's important to take this moment to have an actual life-changing conversation, possibly with you, that like you need to hear. And so, chat, FYI, trigger warning, and I'm just gonna let people know up front. Trigger warning. People aren't having late-term abortions because they have to. Right. I'm sorry, not because they want to. Like no one is going through the process of late-term abortions because like it's just a decision that they're making. So in my previous marriage, my first son, who my ex-wife and I, we got pregnant with our first son, and we went through the process of like, you know, getting all his stuff, right? We bought a crib. I painted the room. I painted in Lakers purple and gold. I put up fat heads. I decorated it. I did all this other stuff. We named my first son. Right. And when my ex-wife was over 5 months, there were some complications which forced her to actually have to have a late-term abortion, which of course my first son didn't make it. Right. And that was the most gut-wrenching, life-altering decision that was ever made.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
No, I appreciate it. But the point that I'm trying to drive home is that people have to make these decisions every day, right? And women specifically need to be able to have access to make these decisions because these decisions will affect their lives, period. Right? It's not something that is going to ever be a situation where they're doing it for fun. If this is the thing that has to be done, then they should be able to make that decision without being restricted because it's a life-altering decision and it's not something that anyone wants to just make. So the premise that people are engaging in late-term abortions because they want to, it's literally just the people on the right trying to propagandize it and weaponize it and make people believe that like this is a thing, and it's really not a thing. It's something that's harmful, hurtful, and it lives with you forever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like there shouldn't be all these shitty ass laws. Excuse my French, but I don't feel like the restrictions and laws they put on aren't good and aren't okay. And like I said, in most all cases, I feel like it's justifiable and it's okay. And like definitely, obviously, I don't even have to say this in your case, completely justified. Obviously, that was something. I'm so sorry to hear that, man.
The only reason I share that is not because I'm trying to make you feel bad and I'm not trying to trigger things. The point that I'm trying to get across is that people have to make these life-changing decisions on a daily basis, and we have to respect people to be able to make these decisions. The reason why I advocate so much for like women having the right to access abortion is because I think that people are going to make the best decisions possible, and they're not going to make rash decisions just because they feel like it or just because they are irresponsible. They're going to make decisions based off of like their reality and also medical advice. I think that's important to be able to give people that leeway to make these decisions because these decisions are theirs, and it's also going to be life altering. That's the point.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. There shouldn't be like laws and shit. It should definitely be between you, your partner, and your doctor. But I'm just saying, if I have a wife of 5 years or whatever, and I get my wife pregnant and I want to keep this child and she wants to abort it, and I don't know. Like, should
that's your wife's decision, right?
Right. Well, of course, it's her body and her choice. But I feel like,
and I say this all the time, right? Even in the instance of marriage, I would advocate for a conversation, right? I would advocate for men being able to possibly engage in a conversation with their wives, but I would never advocate in men being able to make the final decision. It should be the wife's decision, and even more so, it shouldn't be a pressure situation.
Right.
The point is, like, the thing that women have to go. Did you know that women are, in normal situations, we could talk about other extreme situations, but in normal situations, women are never as close to death as they are when they're pregnant. Did you know that?
Yeah, they're like the most vulnerable. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah,
statistic.
and it changes their physical aspect, right? Whether it's talking about the physical toll as far as being able to carry a child, it shifts their bone structure, right? Their pelvis, things like that. But it also shifts the chemical element within their brain. That's why certain people deal with like postpartum syndrome and like all these other different aspects. And so the strains that like childbirth puts on women is something that men could never understand. And since we can't go through that process, we can't fully understand that process. That process should not only not be a decision that we make something on, it should not be a something that we let a bunch of old white men legislate on. And when I say old white men, I mean the history of our government is made up of majority old white men. Yep. And old white men shouldn't be making decisions for not only women, but they shouldn't be making decisions like this for you, Daniel. And I say, like, I make this point all the time. You're 18 years old. You're the person that's going to have to deal with the fallout from the shit that's happening today in 30, 40, 50 years. Like, literally, you have to handle what they're doing today, and them poisoning the water and the air in the name of capitalism is something that you and your kids and your grandkids are going to have to live with. Not, me and your mom. Like, you have to deal with it. So you should want them to, do what's right by you today and by you tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, I do, man. And I feel like I see pretty eye to eye with you here on this. I agree. Yeah. It's because y'all are like in the most respectful way older than me, and like, your generation has had its time, its prime time, I guess you could say. And now it's creeping up on me and my generation, and will soon to be my kids or whatever, or if I have kids or grandkids. So yeah, I agree. I have to make a stand and try to change what I can and put my voice out in there and speak for people who may not have a voice. But I try, man. I try, and I'm just trying to see where, like I said, I'm just trying to see where I stand, because I see a lot of corruption on both sides and a lot of violence and a lot of just stuff I don't like. And I just want peace. I want peace. That's what I want.
I'll say this, right? Because I think that understanding the need for a better society lands with the individuals. I say this all the time. Like, I don't really give a shit about the government. I don't. I mean, I may vote left, but I'm not a Democrat. I don't give a shit about Democrats, because I think Democrats are weak, right? I think Democrats don't really do the thing that they need to actually do. That's why, like, when I have this stuff on the background, right, these are non-negotiables for me, because they're things that we need to actually address. But even more so, like, I think that in order to ensure that we live a better life, we have to address the things that are needs for everyday people. And so the people on the right don't address the needs of everyday people. This is a question that I have for, like, people who say they vote right and all this other stuff. But I always say, like, can you name one piece of legislation that has been passed by the Republican Party that overwhelmingly benefits everyday Americans over the last 60 years? And the answer is no, always no, because the Republican Party has not done anything that overwhelmingly benefits everyday Americans. They've done things that benefit certain people, certain groups. They've, engaged in culture wars. But when it comes to making life better for Americans, they don't do it. And that's the problem that I have. Yeah.
It's very close-minded. It's a very close-minded area or group, I guess you could say. But I feel like also what you said was the left wing just don't have enough oomph in their step. I feel like
they don't. But then that's where you come in, Daniel. That's where you come in and you hold them accountable and you call them out and you sit here and say, I demand more. That's why I'm doing this today. That's why the background that I have up here, and I've had it open, and that's why I've been telling people, if you're a Trump supporter, get in the box, but if you disagree with anything on the background, get in the box, because we're at the point where I'm tired of playing polite. I'm tired of being nice. We don't need to sit around and try to pacify people. I'm going to force good things on people. Like, there's literally people who are sitting here that advocate against like healthcare, universal healthcare. I don't care if people think that other people don't need it or not. I'm going to force universal healthcare on everyone, because everyone should have access to healthcare. We need people like you, Daniel, that's going to stand up and say, I don't care that you guys think that, oh, everyone shouldn't have this or certain people shouldn't do that. No, fuck that. You're going to take this access and you're going to take these things that are going to be beneficial. We have to do that, and we have to force the Democrats to actually do it.
Yeah, man, I agree. Quick question though.
Sure.
I got about that thing you got up there, that bulletin board or whatever. To lock them up in quotes RNC. What does that mean?
Every single person. And so I put the RNC because it's a lot easier to engage and it's smaller, but there's a bunch of illegal shit that's happening right now. Right. There's a bunch of people that are actively engaging in defrauding our government, harming American citizens, and literally getting away with like illegal shit. The one thing that I tell people all the time, there's two main failures of the United States. Right. The first thing is the traitors that tried to overthrow our union with the Confederacy. There's a term, they should have been made, they should have been put against the wall. You can look that up whenever you have a moment. With the point blank period, they were traitors, and they should have been treated as traitors, but they didn't. Right? We re-established them into our country, and so the residents of those people continued, and that's where we've seen like a lack of accountability throughout the history of our country. But then also January 6th, the people of January 6th literally tried to overthrow the United States government. This is the first time in United States history that the Confederate flag flew in our Capitol. They literally stormed the Capitol, broke into the building, assaulted police officers, harmed people. They smeared shit on the inside of the Capitol Hall. And these same people are literally, they were let off. They were literally let off. And so that's a problem as well. So when I say lock them up, I'm not saying that we need to just go on a witch hunt or, just go after everybody. But if we have credible evidence that crimes were committed, then these people need to pay for their crimes. And we need someone that's going to stand up and say, I'm going to hold these people accountable for their crimes.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, I agree with you there 100%. Once that goes back to when we first started this conversation, is people are way too comfortable in society these days, man. They feel like they can just break in and harm people and do what they want, smear human stuff on walls. Like, that's messed up, man. It's like crazy that
not only that, they were trying to hang the vice president. Like, literally, they brought a gallows to hang the vice president.
Really?
Like, all of that. They literally brought a gallows to the Capitol building, and they set it up, and they were chanting that they wanted to hang him. Like, all of this stuff, when I tell you they actively, so you may have heard the story of like Ashley Babbitt, the lady that lost her life.
Maybe.
Was shot. So the reason
the girl
why
that was shot by ICE recently?
No. The one that was shot at the Capitol.
Oh, yeah.
Or during January 6th. The reason why she was shot is because the group that was trying to get in, and which she happened to be like one of the front runners going through, the reason why she was shot is because between the rioters and the officer that shot her, behind her, the members of Congress was locked in a room. If those people would have gotten through that area and got past that officer, then they would have free range and full access to Congress members.
Right.
And so people literally forget like that they were trying to actually kill those members of Congress. So it wasn't a situation where like they were just, peacefully protesting and all this other stuff. They literally tried to overthrow democracy.
Yeah. Well, a few lives were lost that day. Am I not mistaken?
Ashley Babbitt, but there were also additional people who lost their lives in like related injuries, and also people who took their lives afterwards because of trauma.
Yeah. So yeah, man. yeah, it's just like our country is just, yeah, I can't stand it. It's horrible. And I just want to see, it change, and I want to see it get better, man.
Yeah, no. I'll leave you with this. Like, I don't know if you have a TikTok, but if you do give me a follow, I think that like there's a lot of room for opportunity and growth. And while I can say that we can negotiate political differences, you and I can sit here and debate whether we agree on like additional taxes or not. You and I can debate on whether we agree on like pieces of legislation or not. But the one thing that we should never have to debate or disagree on is everyone having access to human rights. And so as long as we can get to that point, then I think you'll be in the right position. And the point that I want to make sure that you always remember is if you actually want change for a positive, then you are going to have to step up and put yourself on the line, because you have the complexion for protection. Like, you got to do it.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I feel like I hope I will stand for the right thing, and I'm just trying to figure out what the right thing is right now. There's so much wrong to get into. It's hard to get right into the right stuff. So I'm just trying to, and I will take a stand. When I'm sure that my ideology is pure and good, then I will be like, hey, it's time to change, man. I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah,
I'm sure.
The one thing I'll say is, don't wait for perfect. We don't have the luxury for perfect. And also, you like trying to hold yourself to the standard of perfect is impractical. Just keep in mind what I said. If the thing that you should want to do is to help and protect people. That's the only thing that could be asked for, helping and protecting people.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I love to help people and protect people. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Great
All right.
stuff.
Well, hey, thank you for coming up here and having this conversation with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
W's in the chat for that young man, guys. Hopefully something that I said not only resonated with him, but hopefully something that was said resonates with people, right? I think it's really important that we have these type of conversations, and I think it's really important that we take every opportunity to reach those people who may not understand, or even more so, especially the youth, because the youth are the ones that we need to ensure inherit the right things. I often worry about my boys, my kids, and how the actual direction of our country and our planet is going for them. And I don't want them to not only have a world where things are even more harmful, but I don't want them to have more than everyone else. I just want them to be able to live in a world where they have the same opportunities as everyone else, and everyone can live in a good spot. So that's it. I got a couple of thank you guys. I'm going to run through these thank yous really quick. Debbie's in the chat for Amy for the $12.85. I think that was conversion from Canadian or from the UK. It said, I came across you because of Dean and Parker. I love watching your live streams. Keep up the good work from the UK. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You're fucking awesome. Debbie's in the chat for Savannah for the $5 donation, saying, please tell him engage in those videos where people are fighting. Tell him engaging in those videos where people or fighting the algorithm that wants you to see more of. That's what you need. We'll see more. Yeah, you got to understand your algorithm and how the algorithm is finely tuned to like the things that you actually engage in. Like, that's a whole thing. W's in the chat for Andrew. Thank you so much for the $25 donation. Send $25 donation saying, hey, Santana, thank you for all that you do and who you are. Thank you, Andrea. I won't read that second part out loud, but I will pass on that information. I agree. I completely agree, and I think that's important. So I will pass that on. W's in the chat for Rachel for the $15 donation, saying, holy fuck, I've never put together that young white man's grievance culture is to keep them from using their power to keep to help everyone. Mind blowing. You're a brilliant teacher. Yeah, no, like seriously, the people on the right aren't stupid, or like the right people aren't stupid, but they know what type of power they hold, and that's why they continue to weaponize young white men. W's in the chat for Honor for the $10 donation, saying, I enjoy listening to you every day. Keep up the good work on your platform. Go Panthers, go Packers for you. Absolutely. I'm so fucking excited. W's in the chat for Brandy for the $1 donation, saying, Not a specific point but in general, big W to the guests, to be willing to keep an open mind when propaganda is being actively shoved down your throat shows genuine heart. I believe that he will end up on the right side of history. Love you and best wishes. Absolutely. W's in the chat. Thank you so much for that $1 donation. And I agree too. W's in the chat for Junior for the $1 donation saying, good job, buddy. I think he really was listening and understanding. Hope you're okay and you're on the right side of history. I think so. W's in the chat for Amanda for the $5 donation saying, would you please tell Daniel something for me? I'm sorry, I didn't see this. I didn't want to read these off because I didn't want to interrupt the conversation. So I apologize, Amanda. Hopefully he's still listening. Daniel, listening to you being open-minded to this conversation is a healing part of me that I thought would be broken forever. My nephew is your age, and I'm just really proud of you being receptive to other viewpoints. Love you, Santana. I love you too, Amanda. I'm so sorry that I didn't get to get that message across, but hopefully you heard it. Debbie's in the chat for, let's see here, Alexia, who sent a $2 donation saying, as a Gen X 47-year-old, I agree with my millennial nephew. I know that's right. I know that's right. W's in the chat for JoJo for the $5 donation saying, love you, Santana. I love you way more, JoJo. You're fucking awesome. W's in the chat as well for, holy shit, Irene. Irene sent a $40 donation saying, thank you so much for what you're doing. I'm 39 and it's crazy to think that 18-year-olds don't remember politics without Trump. It's up to us to show them it doesn't have to be like this. I couldn't agree more. W's in the chat for Irene. W's in the chat as well for, it's Aura for the $5 super chat to say, I don't know if it's true, but Renee Good is the cousin of Jared Goff, and supposedly he's going to pay for the funeral. I don't know either. I'm going to look into that. W's in the chat for Julius for the $10 super chat to say, hi, Santana, I'm 76. I've been watching your lives for 2 months. The ignorance and illiteracy coming from the majority of the callers is beyond believable. Is history taught in school anymore? No, they don't teach a lot in school anymore. It's fucking wild. And W's in the chat for Witch Woman for the $10 super chat to say, if you have an idea, if your idea involves harm to anyone, it's wrong. I could not agree more. Period. All right, guys, listen, I got to get out of here because we got a game in 23 minutes and I got to book it. So we got to get out of here. I got to go. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It's Carolina Panthers time. I got to order my Uber Eats and I have to get ready for the game. So I'm going to get out of here. No one's running from you, Popcorn. No one cares about you. You're irrelevant. Let's go.
You stepped in a box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing.
Mike Hot.
Who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate.
This is a mind game.
Facts type lies get left in chain. One wrong word, you slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats and get scrambled like a glitch.
Hey.
I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey guys, it was a great day. I really appreciate everyone hanging out. I'm really excited about the direction of where we're going. I think that was a great way to end the live. And even more so, I just want to remind everyone to take care of yourself, take care of your peace, take care of the people that you love. And I love you guys. Thank you for all the gifts, the taps, the likes, the shares. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for being you. I love you all. Keep pounding as always.